12, moon kissing my grind. Eyes red, pockets green, papers aligned. Warehouse, echo still claps my rhymes. Sweat drips, floor slick, still handling time.
Late night shadows, they creep, they linger. Catching my palm, burns hot, no splinter. It's the late shift crew, you already know. Handling this, stacking chips, money flow. It is what it is, don't play with me. I'm on time, but it's the late shift, see.
Coffee bitter, but the dream stays sweet. Clock in, punch out, rinse, repeat. Hustle heavy, got my heart off beat. Counting every dollar like it's on a receipt.
Dogs got whisper, they sing, they call. Under street lights, my grind stands tall. It's the late shift crew, you already know. Handling this, stacking chips, money flow. It's what it is, don't play with me. I'm on time, but it's the late shift, see. But it's the late shift, see.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Late Shift. I am your brother Wise. I appreciate you guys pulling up today. Yeah, we got a pretty good show today. I'm waiting on my folks to pull up, and as they do pull up, we'll get them added to the show. Hit the like button for me if you could on the way in the building. We got a lot to get into. Should be a good show today. Should be pretty entertaining. Show some love to my folks in the chat real fast. What's going on, B? How you doing this morning? Goodness. Good evening. How's it going today? Hope all is well with you. Hope all is well. What's up, Lori Addison? How you doing today? Hope all is well. What up, Hunter? How you doing, man? It's good to see you in the chat. Cool Ramon in the building. Shout out to you. Hey, let's do a city, state check as well. Let us know where you're watching the broadcast from, what city, what state, country, all that kind of good stuff. Let me continue to show some love to my folks. What's up, Zeph? How you doing today? It's good to see you. What up, Lewis? How's it going, man? It's good to see you in the chat this evening. Hey, Junior Ray, appreciate you pulling up. Scott Jung in the building. Tennessee in the house. What's going on? Appreciate you. What up, Papa Dodd? How's it going, man? It's good to see you in the chat. Appreciate you pulling up this evening. Appreciate you guys. What up, Mr. Largy? Appreciate you pulling up. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Hit the like button for me if you could. Please hit that like button for me. Shout out to Jay Witt. Says he's been a member for 4 months. So shout out to that brother, man. He says he'll be gifting 50 ARP memberships when he hits 70,000 subscribers. I'm not exactly sure where he's at right now. I wish he'd have threw some context in there. But go ahead and subscribe to that brother's channel, man. Go on and do that, man. Go support that brother. Subscribe to the channel. All right, I think I got a few folks up in here. Give me 1 second. What up, Celeste? How you doing today?
Hey, how are you?
What's up, Michonne? How you doing today? I can hear you just fine. I'm doing well.
Okay.
Let me change up something real quick. That's just too far apart. What up, bro? What's up with you, bro?
Hey, what's up, brother Wise? I am here
who you texting?
To all my followers. Okay, I hope y'all ready. I got a lot of things cooking. You know, I talked to you about trying to get some sponsorship for the show. Sent out some emails. I bothered some people. Let's see what comes back. Plus, I got an idea for an invention that I got some capital. He will tell all his business to invest, but I got to keep that on the low, patent pending.
All right. Dion says she having some troubles. Let me see if I can pull her up. What's up, Dion? How you doing today, sister? Oh, you're muted. Okay. Well, she's working on that. Hey, Michonne, how you doing today? It's good to see you. Appreciate you pulling up today.
Thanks for having me. Shout out to the chat and the panel. Hi, Celeste, Uncle Ro. Good to see you.
Hey, Ro.
Right. It's always good to see all of y'all.
Look at him smiling like a Cheshire cat.
Yeah, no, he's happy tonight.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
I'm definitely in a great mood. Like I said, I've been having a lot of inspirational moments this week.
really,
Okay.
I can dig it. What's on your mind, man? You look like something on your chest. What's on your mind today, man?
No, no, it's just I was talking to a buddy earlier and I was just telling him, it's nice to know people, ever since I started my business, I've been able to meet a lot of, you know, entrepreneurs, doctors, capitalists, businessmen, So when I came up with my idea, I was able to make some calls and people were like, "Hey man, draw it up. We'll draw up some NDAs and we'll see about getting this product on the shelves." You know, so it's just nice, man, because I think about where I started. And back in like 2016, and I started out the trunk of my car, didn't have much, not even a truck, nothing, So now I got a truck, full blown business. The business probably gonna pick up another 100 grand worth of work this year. And man, things are just on the up and up, dude. And I'm extremely happy about it.
Well,
Congratulations.
Yeah,
congratulations, man. I like that. I love those
and
success stories. I started without a truck. That's a hustler right there, man. I
yeah,
love it.
man. And like I told Wise, and we talk off the show, and I'm telling Wise I want to build this show into something, and we're gonna see about trying to bring in some dollars and you know, get everybody paid, maybe some red bottoms or something. I know y'all got fancy tastes out there. Yeah. The
Lord
women on
have
our
mercy.
panel, they got fancy tastes.
What up, Spaces? What's up with you, bro?
What's going on, everybody? How y'all doing?
Doing well,
Hello.
All
man.
right.
Yeah,
How's it going?
when Uncle Ro he mentioned the red bottles, I thought of the Drewski skit. I don't
You
know
know
if
Look
what?
at
I
y'all.
just ran across that skit today. That it was hilarious, dude.
oh my.
Absolutely hilarious.
We got to start there. What's up, Crystal? How you doing today? You feeling a little better?
I'm hanging in there. I'm
You
hanging
hanging
in
in
there.
there? Okay. On the men. Okay. All
Hmm.
right. Hey, so hit the like button. We're gonna get things kicked off. We got a lot to get into, so I'm gonna ask that the panels, my panelists today, let's try not to be super long-winded today. I know how some of y'all can be, Rolando, but let's stay in there. You know what I'm saying? Short, sweet, and get in and let's get out of there. All right. I want to start with this clip that I found, and it kind of, man, Rolando, I'm glad we didn't plan this. We didn't plan this at all. But Rolando
Okay.
with his hustler's ambition story, man, it's right on time, man. Because I want to play this clip, and it's kind of off the beaten path, but I want you guys to see this, man. I thought this was phenomenal.
Hustler. Check my boy. Check my swag. That's the definition of a hustler, cuz you don't know nothing about grinding. Look at my. He already know he got like 20 and a half seconds to get busy. He got machetes in his hand. He got machetes in his hand and a hula hoop on his leg, and he is fucking juggling in the middle of traffic. And y'all niggas can't go drive Uber. Y'all can't go work a job. Y'all motherfuckers be complaining about y'all bosses. This nigga in the middle of the street getting to the chicken. You feel me? With machetes. While y'all complaining. You better not never complain to me again. I better not never see it in my life. On God. He's official. He's official.
Yes.
All before the light turns red. But,
You want the strawberry stuff?
nah, just the cookies.
An Oreo or just cookies?
Yeah, it's the cookies. Yeah. I better
Yeah.
not ever hear y'all
I don't know
complaining.
about y'all, man, but that inspired me. I'm like, what? For a traffic light, bro? I'm just telling you, I didn't plan this. You came with your story. This is it's right on time, man. What are your thoughts, bro?
Well, I mean, it looks like Mexico, if I'm not mistaken. When I was down in Tijuana there for a little while, that's just that's just a hustler's nature. When you go down to South America, you go down to these Latin countries, man, they hustle everything, bro. There's markets everywhere. Everybody's chasing the dollar, and that's because there are no social programs. There's no welfare. There's none of
True.
that.
True.
Even if you go down like to the islands, not the American Virgin Islands, go down to the British Virgin Islands. There's no welfare. Dude, on your way from the airport down to the resort, you will see true poverty. So they got to get after it any which way. You catch them down by the beach, they selling fruit baskets. You see them on the TikTok, the Jamaican guy with the raft. Remember the black lady was throwing his pineapples all in the ocean?
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
You know, but the guy, this is what happens in these places. You're forced to make something out of nothing.
Facts.
And that's just
Michonne,
what it is.
Let's get Michonne in there. What are your thoughts?
I clearly it's not here in the United States. Somebody out there actually doing some work. No shade. But you get all the props because I can't do it since I can't do it. But it's better than being a squeegee boy at the end of the corner trying to rob you of your Cash App. So I'm trying not to be negative. So shout out to them wherever they are, which obviously is not the United States of America, unfortunately.
No, definitely not. It's an honest day's work.
Correct.
Honest day's work.
Mm-hmm.
He has a skill. He's showcasing it. He's asking for a little bit of pay. Les, what are your thoughts?
That's exactly what I was going to say. That's what you can do when you have a skill. There'll always be an opportunity for somebody who has a skill. The problem is people who don't want to pick up a skill. They don't want to learn anything. They don't want to try anything. And then they're angry that they don't have anything. So I think there's a direct correlation between how much you can do and how much you can have. So when people say to me, people used to say to me, "Oh, I'd like a job." The first question, I know you were in staffing for a while, Wise. The first thing you want to ask is, "Well, what can you do?" When the list is short, the opportunities are short too.
Yeah. Spaces, get in there, bro. Beforehand, Prince Revolvers with the $2 super chat says, "If Michonne can do that, I'll donate $100."
Save your money. Just save your money.
I'll double it. No, while I was watching, I was like, "There you go." You know what I mean? Like, and I have a storage of change. I would give him, and even the change in my car. Like if I had cash, I would definitely give him some money because out here in Chicago, one of the things we have are the people that dance on the street, right? For donations for their dance groups or whatever it is that they're trying to hustle for. And then other people we have like people that take I don't know if you know the buckets that people put fish in. Yeah, they take those buckets and they beat on them like a drum. Yeah. So that's that take a lot of skill, man. And
that's a skill.
What took it over the top for me was when he was balancing on the rope. Like the rope wasn't shaking.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't like he was about to lose his balance. And then bouncing machetes and then 100% kudos to him. He would definitely have my donations. He might take my tip money for the resort because I remember, just like Rolando was saying, I've gone to Mexico twice, and you really do see what real poverty is going out that way. Like there's so much lack of, I want to say institution, but that's not the word. But it took 30 minutes to get from the airport to my resort, and the 30 minutes in between, only 5 of it showed a city. And that's the last 5 minutes. 25 minutes of it was just cornfields and swamps. So yeah, I definitely understand the hustle. He would get my money.
Yeah, I'd give him a couple dollars. Crystal.
I support it. That's that hustle lifestyle. I only know how to be I'm better now, but I only know about being a hustler. My whole life I was hustling. And I know we've talked about it. I started working when I was 13, and I just look at today's culture where people are picky about what they do, and I don't want to do this. I remember people were shocked when I said that I was a ramp agent and I used to throw the luggage on the thing, and they're like, "You?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I did that, and it's a job, and it paid, and I enjoyed it." So I think people let their pride get in front of them when you gotta eat, when you gotta pay them light bills, when you gotta pay that mortgage, that rent. Very quickly, that you better learn to lose that pride and figure out how you're gonna pay them bills.
Thanks. Yeah, and I'll give you the last word and we'll keep it moving. Still muted. No? Struggle? All right, I'm going to kick you out. All right, we'll keep it moving. A couple super chats I want to read real quick. And, if you'd like to sponsor the show, go ahead and sponsor the show. We'll put your name down there, show you some love. Shout out to Elizabeth coming through with the $10 super chat. Says, tell my make-believe husband I said, hey. I wonder, who's she talking about? I'm assuming this is
Brooke. Talk about me, Wise. Stop acting like you don't know.
Well, hold on. We might have to fight for that one, Rolando.
She's talking about Brother Wise.
She's talking about me.
He out the game. He ain't talking about
me. I'm way out the game.
She doesn't care. That's okay. My besties admire people. Okay,
got you. Understood.
That would be for you.
Well, thank you, Elizabeth. I appreciate that.
Hey, Rolando, I'll rock paper scissors you for.
Come on, Spaces.
I love the confidence, Rolando. I'm not gonna lie to you. I love the confidence, man. I love it. Shout out to LJ.
Spaces can't do that. It's against his religion. Wise. He can't gamble. Don't let him fool you.
Shout out to LJ with the $2 super chat. Says for Spaces. Incense fund. Where is the smoke?
I'm actually getting rid of the incense. I found out that they're really bad for you and could potentially cause cancer. So I'm just burning my last ones and then switching over to the steamer. I forget what it's called. But steamer and then diffuse. Yes, thank you. Diffuser and natural oils.
Okay. I like that. Cool. We got those in the house. But once you go there, you're starting to get fancy there. That's on the bougier side of things when you start talking about infused oils and steam. I mean,
I'm telling you, listen, anybody show up to Spaces house, all it smells like is incense and jasmine rice up in there.
This guy crazy, yo. All right, we got to get into Drewski, man, because he has a lot of good church folks out there upset, man. He has a lot of them upset. I don't know if you guys have had the opportunity to see it or cover it yourselves, but we got to get into it, man. I thought it was hilarious. Hit the like button, folks. Hit that like button for me.
From the front to the back. Let's go.
If you know he made a way.
Open your mouth. Say yeah. I'm going to have Wanda stand up here. Wanda, please. Wanda told us earlier this month that she could not have a baby anymore. So I impregnated her with the word of God. I'm going to impregnate everyone with the word of God. You gonna get pregnant with the word of God. You gonna get pregnant with the word of God. You gonna get pregnant with the word of God. Impregnate. I had somebody in the congregation ask why I'm wearing Christian Dior and Christian Louboutins. Because I'm a Christian and I walk in the blood of Jesus. Give him some praise. I'm a Christian first. And I walk in the blood of Jesus. Give him some praise. Give him some praise. So we are raising funds for a project in Zimbabwe. Yes, we are trying to get our congregation over in Africa. Amen. We wanted to raise $4 million for that. Amen. Yes. Hallelujah. That needs to appear today. We are not letting anyone leave until we reach our goal. Amen. Hallelujah. Life savings here. Give him some praise for that. Give it his life savings up. Apostle Richie says, baby, can you help me? I said, can you help me? I said, can you help me?
I'm gonna finish this word here, and I'm gonna do the Christian version. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna do the Christian version. I'm driving this Bentley Bentayga because I believe in Christ. Open your mouth. Can you leap on your legs like a survivor? Can you leap on your legs till the money fall out your pockets? Jesus, you are, Jesus, you are, Jesus, you are.
Still praise the Lord.
I need you to pray for my wife. Hey, come on, man. Hey, get your hands off my car. You gave tithes and offering? No. Back the fuck up, man. What's wrong with you, man?
I love me some Drewski.
He's a comedian, right?
Social media
he's
comedian,
like half
Yes. This
comedian
is
and-
ignorant. This is ignorant. Crystal, I want to give you the first word. Ro, I'll give you next, but I want to give Crystal the first word. What are your thoughts? Were you offended?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Because that's literally Mr. Todd, Jamal Bryant, the rest of them that move around like that.
Benny Hinn,
They,
a bunch
they
of them.
all them people. So it's like, it wasn't, I didn't find it offensive. I think it offended the people who know that that's them. I think they even showed a picture of Mike Todd in that same jacket, to be honest, that same Christian Dior jacket. And I mean, come on now. You're only offended because you know it's true. Because I know that the church that I go to, the pastor that I sit under, that is not his behavior. He wouldn't be offended by that. None of the pastors who actually preach the word of God, they're not offended. They think that is actually what is happening in a lot of these mega churches. And I remember someone saying that being a Christianity is a big business. It's a big business nowadays. So a lot of people want to jump into it because they want to make money off of it, even if they don't care what the word of God stands for. So at the end of the day, Drewski did a great job, and he did something that was very necessary. He opened up the eyes of people who didn't realize, wait a minute, hold on, that looked like my church. Yeah, that means you need a new church.
Facts. Michonne, I'll give you the next word.
The funny part about all that he did when I just saw it for the first time about a half an hour ago, is that the drops that I have for my show are all of those things. The pastor coming down from the sky, it's real. We know that one guy, I can't think of his name, closed the doors. We got a whole drop for that. There's a drop for a preacher who's in the middle of preaching and a woman walks by in a tight outfit and he said, Lord have mercy, why he's, checking her out. So it's like, why are y'all offended? Y'all see the same thing. Plus what we just watched with Jamal Bryant. I'm surprised it wasn't, he didn't put that in there with his wife and he's still, cutting for him. But in another scene, they had shown Jamal, his wife, in front of a Rolls Royce. I might have said that last week. And the chat told me that it cost like $600,000 to $700,000. Not to mention, child, I'm sorry, y'all, Bishop Lamar Whitehead, who just went back to jail after fleecing his congregation while he's living in Jersey with Louis and everybody else in a $1 million mansion, and y'all are in a storefront that looks like a garage for your car to get detailed, and y'all still giving him money. So honestly, I just don't understand how people are falling for it still. Because I'm like, if you're in the same position that you were a year ago, a year later, then you might need to do some evaluation. And I'm very picky on who it is I listen to, because I said my pastor would never, ever. And if he does, that's when I got to go. And then Bishop wouldn't, of course, because I love him to death, because he'll just say it regardless and speak out on anything. And I love that about him. But there's some people that I don't get it, especially like, and I'm sorry to be long, after everything that happened just now with Jamal Bryant and all them people up there, while he's over there saying that mess. I'm like, y'all, I could never. I don't understand, but y'all do you. If that's how you think it works, then good for y'all. Crazy. Everything he said is accurate, and what he did was accurate.
100%, 1000% accurate. Ro, before you go, and I want you to get the next word, but I want to play a couple of things for you guys real fast.
There he is.
Called the Flying Pastor. Look at him go. Pastor Bartholomew Orr says his church in Mississippi has been using the flying equipment for several years for Christmas services.
Why does the church need flying equipment? Seriously, why? Why does the church need flying equipment?
We actually have a company that comes in, installs it, takes our people through a flight school just to make sure that everything is safe.
So the pastor figured it was time to give it a go himself.
Jesus Christ is on his way back.
It started a little jerky, but he quickly got the hang of it.
Actually, I wasn't nervous. They kind of creeped me in, so it wasn't like I was zoomed in.
The pastor has been mocked by some who call him a Beyonce wannabe. The pastor says the proof is in the pews.
I think more
and the cost that is involved. There's 1,000 of you.
Believe God as long as I want to. If I want to believe God for a 65. Believe God as long as I want to. If I want to believe God for a $65 million plane, you cannot stop me. You cannot stop me from dreaming. Now you see why the devil tried so aggressively to discredit my voice.
Take it! Take it! Take it! Take it! Showing hands, quick. Showing hands, I said, quick.
Saul killed 2,000. David 2,000. Saul killed 1,000. 1,000. David 10,000.
This is ridiculous, man. This is ridiculous, man. Golly, bro. I'll give you the next word, but
What in the world?
I gotta say, I gotta give a special shout out to Creflo Dollar. I ain't seen Creflo Dollar in a hot minute. I would have never followed that dude. This sounds too much like Creepio Dollar. You know what I mean? It's like it's kind of like invested with Bernie Madoff. You know, yeah. But look, I hear they're upset. Okay, they're upset because Drewski did his little skit. It was funny. A lot of people got a lot of laughs. But let me tell you something that we say here in the South. Okay, you throw a brick into a group of dogs, the hit dog gonna holler, and that's exactly what you see here. The hit dog is hollering. Now, when I first met Wise, I don't know if Wise remember this, but remember Wise, we had this, somewhat of this conversation, and I told you back then that preachers should not be earning a paycheck.
mm-hmm.
And we had that conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I still feel like that to this day. You know, as soon anybody in the church, your time should be free. If you truly believe in what you're saying and what you're spitting, your time should be absolutely 100% free. Because mine is. How come I can show up there on my own dollar? I can put gas in my own car. I can buy my own clothes. I can go down there, even put money in the offering. Everything is on my own dollar. But to get you to show up, dude, it feels like I'm at the strip club, you know. And when you first get there, you got a bunch of money Wise, and all the women come flocking. As soon as the money gone, you can't get nobody to talk to you. That's how these preachers are. You know,
well, you had to put me in that at the strip club. Like, you could include the spaces.
That's just how these preachers are, man. They come circling when you got money. Okay, as soon as the money gone, they gone. Okay, and this is why every single pastor, whether he mean good or he has malintent, you know, in my eyes, they all fall in the same boat. If you collect a check for being in church and preaching the word of God, I do not follow you. Okay? And I advise nobody else to follow you. because you don't even believe what you're saying because you got to get a paycheck to be there. Okay? Go out and get a job like everybody else. Even when Jesus Christ hit this earth, he was a carpenter. He had a job. He didn't go from Israel to Bethlehem, okay, preaching the word and telling me, give me some money for preaching the word to you. No. When he got to Bethlehem, he went ahead and built a staircase for somebody, built a building for somebody, got some money, ate, whatever he needed to do, just like everybody else. Okay? So if Jesus could do it, you can do it. Okay? That's how I feel about that. And nobody ever gonna knock me off my horse when it comes to that because I see too much of this. You know, and to all the gullible people in the church, hey man, if you're willing to donate to these guys, then go ahead and knock yourself out. And for anybody else, if y'all want to go and follow these dudes and, you know, donate your money, I don't feel bad for you. Believe in what you believe in, you know. But when your social security check gone or your pension gone or they done stole all your money, just don't come complaining. Because that's all these guys about. They don't even believe in what they're preaching. You know, there used to be a saying, Wise. Remember this saying, ain't nothing free but the grace of God? Remember that saying? I used to love that saying. But now we need to readjust that saying. To ain't nothing free but ain't nothing free in this world. Absolutely nothing. Even the grace of God. Because they done found a way to put a price tag on that. And it's disgusting. Because that used to be the safe place for people could go when they're on their lowest point, okay, and they're looking for redemption. You can always go to church. Okay, the Catholic churches in New York back in the day, I don't know if they still do it now, but their doors never closed. They were open 24/7. Okay, you could walk in there at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning and do a confession or do whatever you need, like candles, whatever. Okay, it was a place for everyone. Now it's only a place for the people who's willing to give and give everything. And they expect me to follow that. I ain't doing it.
So let's get the next word.
Well, I'm a big fan of freedom of expression, so go Drewski. And as for the church, I actually think that the people, I think that what he exposed or demonstrated was that this is just people who do religious performances on Sundays. And I actually think the people who attend these churches know that. And that's why they go. They go for the show. They go to be entertained. They go to watch a show on which the subject matter or the storyline or the narrative is religious, but it's just a show. And I think they know that. And I think the only reason there's some people that are upset is because they don't want you to know that. But they know what they're doing. They know what they're getting. They know they're not going to learn how to repent from sin and learn how. They're not going there to do any of that. They're going there to watch the show and to be entertained, and that's fine. And they should. They just don't want you to know that's what they're doing. They want you to believe that they're in a serious religious practice where they are working on their relationship with God. They don't want you to know that they're in there jumping on the good foot and all that other stuff that he had them doing. Yeah, it's a show, and that's fine. Enjoy the show. You know what I mean? Just like going to the movies, just like going to a play. They have every right to enjoy the show, and all, generally shows and performers charge a fee.
Yeah, Spaces.
I had to pull over because of how hard I was laughing. Especially when I didn't realize when he was doing the worm, and I saw LJ sent a super chat about this, but I saw him doing a worm. So just off of him doing a worm, I was laughing. But then when I saw that he was saying impregnate while he was doing the worm, I'm like, this dude is hilarious, man. It's hilarious. And I I think it's a great representation of a lot of pastors out there, preachers in the mega churches specifically, because I was just in the service this past Sunday where it was just so obvious that this pastor's sermons were dedicated to solely hearing what people want to hear. And he was talking about his suit, right? And he said he originally ordered a suit and it was too big. And then he called the tailor, and then the tailor did whatever they did, and they made it perfect for me. You were made perfect for the situation that you're in right now. Oh my God, dude. Like, I don't want to come here anymore. And you know, it was just, I have to say though, I have to give a disagreement with Rolando. I think when it comes to pastors, I definitely understand where you're coming from when you say the idea of pastors getting paid to lead the flock, lead the sheep, lead us the people, and all that. However, from the work that I've seen, because I've seen firsthand the amount of work that goes into it. Now, if a pastor is getting paid, doesn't have another job because they're solely living off of the tithes and offering that's given from the church, I 100% agree with you. However, the pastors that I've seen, that I grew up with, they had, on top of being a pastor, 2 and 3 other jobs that they were doing. So I see what you're saying, and I understand to and agree to an extent. On the other hand, it's situational. However, I mean, I've seen videos of pastors, and it might have even, I'm sure you guys have seen it at some point. It was a pastor, I don't know who it was, but he was talking about bragging about having a $5,000 dog that understands like 3 languages. It was another one that was talking about he had a whole, people give their tithes and their offerings on the, he had them put it on stage and he was dancing on it. Okay, I see. Yet all of these people are giving all their money, and you wonder why the church is failing, and you wonder why the numbers are going down, because you're doing all these prosperity sermons, and people aren't seeing the prosperity. That's all I got for now.
Dion?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we got you.
Finally. I had to figure it out. My computer did an update and everything was wonky. I was going to say, I mean, that's comedy. Comedy, what pushes the envelope like that all the time. And I guess people have forgotten because we've been living in the age of not just political correctness, but everything that has blown up to be, where you can't say anything to quote unquote hurt somebody's feelings. But it tickled me too, because it reminded me of something. John MacArthur wrote a book called Truth Wars, where he talked about the visible church, which is the one that you see all in the lights and camera and all of that, you know, the famous churches, versus the invisible church, which is the real church, which doesn't carry on all that hoopla. And you know, he did an example of how they do all the things in this cultural Christianity, the visible church, or they put, like y'all said, they put on a show. So I didn't jump down in the comments. I just saw it, I think, yesterday. I didn't jump down in the comments to read because I was rolling through looking for something else, but I didn't realize that there were different pastors that got uptight about it or whatever. But I'm like, well, if they said anything, then they you know, kind of told on themselves. But then they wouldn't have to really tell on themselves, because everybody can plainly see what's going on. And that's why they were able to laugh, because they, you know, made the associations with, you know, whatever preacher he was making fun of at the time. So anyway, that's what I thought.
Most good comedy. You got to have going on. You got it. I got it. Most good comedy has a lot of truth in it, you know. And what makes this funny is that we've all seen these types of people. We've seen these types of pastors. I mean, we've covered these types of people over, you know, for I don't know, couple years now. And that's what makes this funny. All the people that are in their feelings, but hurt behind it, those are the people that probably attend those types of services, and they're frustrated. But let's not act like this is new types of comedy. I mean, do you guys recall in Living Color back in the day with Damon Wayans and Jim Carrey and those? I mean, come on, man. They stuck up the daggone congregation. People too sensitive in this day and age, man. People are entirely too sensitive. Comedy is, yeah, it's supposed to push the edges, and it's supposed to hurt some folks' feelings. It's supposed to.
Can I ask a question?
Go for it.
So you said you had an issue with the flying system that the pastor had. So what do you see is wrong with that?
It's just unnecessary. I mean, come on, man. The pastor flying down, like, unnecessary, man. Like, who are you trying to portray yourself to be?
No, Wise, the show is just trying to pick up where the circus left off, because the circus done retired, P.T. Barnum and Bailey. So the church is trying to step in and fill the void, because this is just a straight up clown show right here. Like I said, at the end of the day, people come for the word. They don't come to see preachers propelling from the roof.
I don't know about that, bro. I don't think everybody goes to church for the word. There are some people that go there for the pomp and circumstances. They go there, for maybe the community. Some people go there for the fellowship, which I think you should go for the fellowship. But I don't think people are really there for the word.
For the hat show, at the end of the church, for whatever reason, but for whatever reason you show up, at the end of the day, if you're showing up there, you're gonna end up getting the word. Is what I'm saying.
I think that's the smaller churches, and what you described of the type of people or pastors or whatever you want to call them that you don't like are the mega church folks. Most of your pastors at smaller churches, most of them do work though. Most of them have jobs.
To be honest with you, I don't like if you're collecting a paycheck, and that's just how I feel about that. I'm very blunt about that. Because that's just how I grew up. We say things in the most blunt way manner so you understand them, so it doesn't have to be repeated over and over, But no, I don't agree with anybody. And when I mean anybody in there collecting the check.
That's actually
if the
wrong.
if the members can show up for free, they can show up for free too. Your time's no more valuable than my time. And like I said, God don't talk to none of these people personally. Okay? So for them to sit there, I don't buy it.
No, actually, you are supposed to receive something from the congregation. If you look back into Leviticus, it broke down how the priests, the ones that were providing the word, would receive the whatever offerings they brought to the their sin offerings, their peace offerings, all their offerings. It came from the priests, and then would take part of that. That's how they would feed. That's how they would give food for their families and all of that stuff, through the priests delivering, taking part of that offering. So yes, they are supposed to get part of an offering. I'm not saying they have to live off of paycheck off of there, but they are supposed to receive an offering. Also, you can't say not to give tithes, because tithes is actually supposed to be for us to be able to help the community. Take, for instance, my church. People gave tithes and offering, and that money went to help the community. And your church is supposed to be open, like my church is very open. And they said we spent $1 million in helping these people with help people get housing, get people food, because again, we are supposed to help. God called the church to help the poor, the needy, the widows. It's the church that's supposed to do it, not the government. So the tithes and offerings is actually supposed to go to that. Marcus Rogers, one of my favorite people in Chicago, they pay people's rent from tithes and offering. They pay people's light bills. So we're not supposed to stop tithes and offerings, because tithes and offerings is supposed to help the church. That's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to do that. And the offering, yes, you're supposed to give a portion to the priest, because the priest is supposed to be receiving the word of God, and this is how they receive some kind of compensation or food or whatever from God, from doing the work of God. They're not supposed to be coming off rich, but they are supposed to do that.
Well, hold on. I never went to a mega church. I went to a small church. And I know what tithe is. I know what Leviticus is. Even though I know everybody on the panel think I'm just like some ignorant ghetto dude from the street who don't know the Bible or whatever. But actually, I
No one
grew
has
up.
ever suggested that.
Well, I'm just saying. I grew up initially. I grew up Catholic, you know, and my mom switched over to Adventist, and we grew up as Adventist. Okay, I know what tithe is. And I've given this example several times on this show. You know, our church would collect tithe, they would use it, and it would literally benefit the children of the church. When members were sick or short on food, we had a food pantry. They would go out, they would do all types of stuff. Okay. And I've told this to Wise several times. Our preacher didn't collect a paycheck, he was a mechanic by trade. You know what I mean? And he was there because he wanted to be there. And every summer, you know, all the kids that went to that church were all project kids, you know, and we went off for 3 weeks to summer camp, you know, to give our parents some relief and let us see things other than bricks, you know, because I'm from Newark, New Jersey. It's known as Brick City. Okay. So we can get out into the flowers and see nature and all that. That's what I grew up church as being. I don't recognize what this is. You know what I mean? Because
I understand. I understand what you're saying.
I'm gonna repeat what Wise said because he corrected me the other week. It's the love of money, and when you start incorporating money and money starts to become the main source, then corruption is gonna leak in. You have to remember there's sayings from thousands of years ago that are still relevant today. And one of them is this: everything is corrupted once man touch it. Remember that. As soon as man gets a hold of it, he perverts it, okay? And he makes it work to his own will. And a lot of these people rule through the clergy, through religion. You know, telling them that this is what the Father intends for them. But what these people don't know is the Father doesn't speak to him no more than he speaks to you. Okay? God has given every man on this earth and woman a moral compass. That's why something on the inside tells you when you go to take something that ain't yours, that ain't right. Something inside you tells you if you have thoughts of killing someone, that ain't right. God instilled those 10 commandments in you. Now, if you choose to obey them, that's on you. If you choose, you know, to ignore them, that's on you. But he's giving you a whole moral compass that you need to guide yourself through this world. And no other man needs to direct you in any other direction. God has already pointed you in the right direction.
Can I just say that I think that I'm sorry, real quick, that Drewski is pointing out that all this has turned into a clown show. Enough of it has basically turned into a clown show, and the fact that so many people seem to be following the show, it makes it even worse, because when you try to speak out to say, you know, this is a clown show, they're like, you can't talk about them. That's God. What are you talking about? You don't know. So which is when I'm like, all right, well, do what you want, and when you end up wherever you are, and then you want to say foul, no. Because that's what you want to follow. And William Murphy did the same thing. And somebody else did few years ago on New Year's night. And I love William Murphy. What is it? Child, some song that is not appropriate for church in any way, shape, or form that they would.
Was it the Walk It Out or
it was Swag and Surf? It was Swag and Surf.
Yeah. Swag and Surf. That's what it was. Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah.
Doing all that. And it's like, y'all, seriously, is this really, even though it's supposed to, the excuse, it's supposed to bring kids in. Okay. If that's what y'all think, then that's what y'all think. But it just, and then when you're doing that and you're getting the people in and you're getting all this money, and then, like I said before, your pastor ends up having Gucci, Fucci, Poochie, and Lucci, and you still sitting here in Walmart stuff. I'm trying to understand, when do y'all get a clue that something just ain't right? I think it definitely has turned to being about money. I don't know, what you do about that, except for the people that come to the church got to realize, y'all got to leave this alone, because all you're doing is leaving yourself in the same spot and they're elevating. And that should be your sign right there. Everybody should be elevating. And why do they have to always look so like braggadocious and have so much stuff and just look like you just came out of Neiman Marcus all the time? That's braggadocious to me. And then they still go there. Like all those people at Jamal Bryant's church. Ain't no way. Ain't no way.
Yeah.
That's why.
Oh no, these are prideful, covetous people. That's
Yeah.
what a lot of that is. It's a lot of
that's
that
why
going on.
a lot
I'll be
of
super
people.
quick,
When
Crystal.
I
I'm
said a
sorry.
lot
I'll be super duper quick. Super duper quick. I just want to talk about how these comments are hilarious. I'm looking at the chat right now. 1117 King said, I see Jill Scott, which I think is Crystal, Common, which I think is Ro, and Ludacris, which I think is me.
I did see that. He told Common to wrap it up. He going too long.
Hey, I appreciate being compared to
love Jill
Common. He
Scott.
was on John Wick, so I'm
I love
good.
Jill Scott. She's amazing. All I wanted to say was I agree with what Michonne is saying because again, you have preachers, you have pastors like Jamal, not like Marcus Rogers. You have my pastor Philip Anthony Mitchell. You have a bunch of them saying what you're doing is wrong to those churches that are like the Jamal Bryants and them that are doing these. They're saying that what they're doing is wrong, and you're not preaching the word of God. And people come in the comments and say they're hateful. Y'all are hateful. Y'all are just jealous of this church and that pastor and so on and so forth and blah blah blah. So Drewski just basically put a light on it. So for a lot of those pastors who have been calling out this and saying that is not of God, they appreciated what Drewski did, and that's the whole point is the pastors who have been calling this and saying that the mega churches that are making this a whole clown show and have been attacked for it, they appreciate what Drewski did and they're commending him. They said God used him in comedy to show people, especially those people who say they go to those church, they get to see for themselves. This is the type of church I'm going through. So definitely I'm a fool for sitting here and giving them all my money while they're running around here with red bottoms and saying I'm walking in the blood of Jesus and all that crap. They get to see it.
Yeah, nothing close to it. Want to recap super chats, man, and we're gonna keep it moving. Thank you, Crystal. We're gonna keep it moving. Shout out to that Shatara Jolie with the $2 super chat. Says she here for Michonne only. The besties love you. Look at that. Come with her own fan club. I love it. Shout out to LJ coming through with the $2 super chat. Says I died when he did the worm. Yeah, I thought I had to watch it a couple of times because you're missing some things. Even the end, when the dude is like, "Man, don't touch my car," it's just like.
And I'm sorry, Mr. Wise. I don't know if you saw it. There was a pastor. I think he was making fun of that pastor, but it was a video, and I need to watch it a few more times. But it was a pastor where he had his Bentley parked in the church.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah, he had his Bentley parked in the church, propped up. Yeah.
And then one of the people, he was like, "This is our God gave us this Bentley." And then one of the people in the congregation said, "Can I drive it?" He was like, "No." That is not what God wants for us.
Dude, the best part of that skit was when he showed the red bottoms. That just had me rolling. Dude, when he said, "I'm walking in the blood of Christ," and then he pops the feet up, I was just like, oh my
That's
God,
ridiculous.
bro.
That's how they do it, man.
This is nuts.
LJ again with the $2 super chat says, say Drewski. No, I can't. I ain't messing with you.
I got you. I'm pregnant. I'm pregnant in the name of. I'm pregnant with the word of God.
Y'all are ignorant, man. I ain't going there with y'all. Shout out to 1117 King with the $10 super chat. Says, bless y'all, just having fun. I loved it. Now he said Jill Scott, Ludacris, and Common. Okay.
Listen, I'm all in for comedy, man. I love somebody with like a Drewski came off with like some 80s comedy, just straight to the gut, dude. No punches pulled. I loved it.
Yeah, it was. I thought it was funny, and it was good exposure. It's bringing. It's funny, but it's really a serious conversation that needs to be had. These people need to be called out, and maybe this is the best way to call them out. Through humor. And through a comedic lens.
I mean, why? I thought it was good. Dude, I don't really get too upset about it because at the end of the day, they're signing up to get scammed.
Mm-hmm.
And they know it.
Yeah, they know it. Absolutely.
What can I do? I can't stop them, bro.
I was talking to Jay Witt earlier, and I was telling him, I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Sweet Daddies. Are y'all familiar with them?
Yes.
Have y'all heard of that? Michelle, you haven't covered the Sweet Daddies? Oh man, I had to email it to you. Oh man, it's a mess.
Uh-oh.
It's a mess. It's a mess. It's beyond a mess, to be honest with you. And the man's the pastor, but they call him Sweet Daddy. It's crazy. There's no way I'm calling another grown man Sweet Daddy. It's not happening.
As a woman, I'm not doing that either. That sounds crazy.
Let me tell you why. If I was a fraudster, let me tell you, I need Benny Hinn's email list of everybody in his congregation, bro, because I'm sending out the Nigerian prince scam to all his followers. You know what I'm saying? And my best African voice. Hey man, you send me 10 grand, I'm gonna send you 10 million.
Let's keep it moving. Go for it. Go for it, Celeste.
I was gonna say I can wait. I'll be honest, I don't think that the people are getting scammed. I think that they're paying, I think that it's a fair exchange. I think that what they want is to be able to go to a religious show, and what they want is to be able to continue to sin and not be told that they have to repent. And for that, they're happy to pay and see the show. I don't think any of these people are getting scammed. I think they sit there every week, intentional and on purpose and in clear mind, and they're getting an exchange. They get a pastor that says you're fine and there's no need for you to repent, and they pay for that. They're very happy. I think it's a very fair exchange.
Celeste, I agree with you, because if I sold you a dream and you're willing to pay for it, then no crime has been committed.
Yeah, facts.
Mm-hmm.
And LJ said, Michonne, you just hadn't met the right man yet, in reference to calling him Sweet Daddy.
I have, and I still wouldn't call him that, but thanks. Ain't no way.
That's crazy, man. That is crazy. I don't even want to be called Sweet Daddy. Don't call me that. No. That's crazy, man. I don't know if you guys heard, but Jasmine Crockett called Stephen A. Smith Django. Stephen A. Smith responds, and we're gonna get in that. And I also want to play the clip. Crystal sent it over to me of Jasmine Crockett with the faux tears over Renee Good, and we're moving.
Invited on this show multitude of times. Jasmine Crockett has been invited on this show multitude of times. You sitting down talking to everybody else. How come you ain't sit down and talk to me? Scared of what I'm going to ask? I don't know. I have no clue. But if you're going to say something like that about somebody, hell, say it to their face.
It is so hard to sit here sometimes, because I didn't come to Congress to write laws or to do things that are hurting people. I'm just asking if there's any decency or heart or courage on that side of the aisle. The fact that a woman was killed, she was shot in her head, and y'all are pretending like nothing happened. I remember when Charlie Kirk got killed. Do you remember what our response was? Our response wasn't to sit there and pretend like it was okay. Is it okay because you have a badge? Because the last time I checked, allegedly no one is above the law. Can y'all not just have a little bit of courage and humanity? A child. A child has lost her mom. And y'all want to pretend that it is okay. I am asking if there is anyone that will stand for the very people that elected us and sent us to Congress. You tell us things like, well, the immigrants are bad, and so we got to get all these bills because the immigrants are the ones that are causing the harm, they're bringing the crime. The mayor of Minneapolis told y'all to get the fuck out. Yet y'all are the ones, it is this administration that is bringing crime to their streets. That's what's happening.
It's the third incident where somebody has dropped an F-bomb in this committee, including the video.
I'm sorry.
Including the video that we had to watch earlier.
Are your princess ears okay?
Is it? profanity.
Well,
of
but
the
you're
committee
more
says the House of
upset about my
Representatives.
words.
Man, hey, if she don't win that Senate seat, hey, she might have a chance in Hollywood, man. Sheesh. Goodness gracious. Celeste, I'll give you the first
chance
word.
at Hollywood. What are you talking about? You didn't see them crocodile tears? She could squeeze no moisture out of them eyelashes. Okay,
She
not
might have
even
a chance.
drop.
She might have a
Eyelashes
chance.
the eyelashes was stealing all the moisture. Couldn't make it down the cheek because the eyelashes caught it before it could fall.
It is amazing that all of these people who are publicly crying have such a difficult time producing a tear that anybody can see, or any of the other signs that come with crying. Crying actually is a physiological response that has a lot of signs that show when you're crying. So I'll give you an example. If you've ever cried and kind of wiped your eyes real quick and walked around, people can look at you and tell, even when your eyes are dry, because your nose is red. There are lots of things that are tells for the fact that you are legitimately crying. So all of these people who are, have these public cries that have no attending sign and can't ever produce a tear, it just makes it, again, we're more performance art. That's all this is. This woman is not a congresswoman. She's a performance artist who's in Congress, and she goes to Congress to do her show. And so I think that, again, and I think the people who at least previously elected her, we'll see if they do it again. It's a fair exchange. That's what they paid for. They're not paying for a legislator. You don't hear anybody in that district hollering about how they haven't gotten any legislation, that they sent her to Congress with some objectives that have not been fulfilled. Nobody seems to be upset about it because they're getting a fair exchange. They want a performance artist and they got a great one, and they're satisfied with it. They're satisfied with her. We are not satisfied with her because we have a different understanding of what we think a congressperson is. She's not a congressperson. She's a performance artist who does her performances in Congress. And that whole diatribe she went on, you cannot compare Charlie Kirk with Renee Good, because Charlie Kirk at the time of his assassination wasn't committing a crime. Renee Good was committing a crime. So it's a false equivocation to try and make those two the same. Well, since I was kind and deferential towards Charlie Good, you should be kind and deferential. I mean, Charlie Kirk, you should be kind and deferential towards Renee Good. Those are not the same things. It was not the same incident. And in fact, it doesn't matter if Mayor Frey wants them to get out of Minneapolis. The fact is, Mayor Frey has no authority to kick them out of Minneapolis. So he can scream and spit at the wind all he wants to. He does not have, and they should know that by the fact that he couldn't make ICE leave. He can't even keep ICE out of his hotels. So the fact is, you may want them out, and maybe even others in Minneapolis want them out. But the fact of the matter is, immigration is not a municipal issue. It is a federal issue. It is of the purview of the federal government. He has no authority in this issue. And it is a shame that it seems that all he can do, since he cannot help with the process, he's intent on frustrating it, and particularly sending these liberals out who have somehow are signing up to become liberal kamikazes, where they're literally putting their bodies on the front line to do some suicide death by cop missions. This thing looks insane. It looks absolutely insane. And if Jasmine Carkett wants to talk about callousness, that's the most callous thing I've seen, is to send people who don't know better in to die for an ideology, or so that you can quietly steal money and not have anybody find out. That is diabolical.
Michelle, I'll give you the next word.
Oh my goodness, where do we start? First of all, her and her fake tears, she can miss me with all that. Now, I did actually cover that one, and I'm like, when she started whining about Charlie Kirk, I'm like, girl, you're the one that was yelling when they tried to have a moment of silence. Yes, we do remember, but of course, the 92%, because that's who I always go for it, don't seem to remember anything, because as long as it's a Black woman saying it and they're saying whatever they want them to say, then they're all good with everything. But let me say something, I'm a coon. Then you got Stephen A. Smith that don't know what he wants to do. One day he want to dress up, next day he don't want to dress up. I don't even know why he bothers. He was addressing something I never got to get to, a Keith Olbermann and someone else. And I'm like, dude, why do you waste your time? Forget it all and keep it moving, because you're looking crazy like a ping pong ball. You got to answer to all these people. You got Joy Reid coming for him. You got Jasmine Crockett coming for him. Ignore them. That's the best thing that you could do, in my opinion, and move on with whatever the heck it is that you feel like you need to say, because either people are going to rock with you or they're not. It doesn't matter what they say. And the way that the rest of the 92% follow them is just crazy to me. I just don't understand. Like, y'all are following this woman just because she's Black? Are you listening to what she's saying? She's full of it. But like everything else today, if that's what you want to follow, we got to just leave it with that. Because if you want to be sitting around and listening to this person, and if you do get her in, right? Because I keep saying, all the people that y'all keep reelecting, what the heck are they doing for you? Because then y'all always are like, well, what does such and such do for the Black community? Well, what does such and such do for the Black community? And as long as Jasmine keeps saying Orange Man is bad, because I feel like that's what she says, then that makes everybody happy. Do y'all care about anything else? All right, you hate Donald Trump. Anything else? Is there anything else? It's like, that's it. And it works.
That's it.
And it works. I'm just like, you make me ashamed sometimes, but whatever. Let them. Because I'm going to just keep saying, I'm going to remember this. When the time comes and you put them back in, just like when they reelected Doogie, Brandon Scott in Baltimore, they elected him, and the very next day, I promise you, the very next day, they said, we have to talk about this food desert. Now, wait a minute. You just reelected him. Shouldn't you have talked about that before you reelected him? Child, I don't know what I'm talking about. I said, but we'll keep talking about y'all, though, as you keep making this a clown show as well. So, yeah. This is crazy. It's crazy.
Bro, what are your thoughts, man?
Well, with her, the first thing I started thinking about when she was like, oh, well, when Charlie Kirk got killed, we didn't do any of that. And I just started thinking back because, I got a good mind. I got the mind of an elephant. And I started thinking back, like, I heard her call him a Nazi, a white supremacist, all these different kind of things. Okay? The man gets killed after all the rhetoric. What's the first thing you see on TikTok and across all these social media platforms? All the liberal followers celebrating, mocking this man, doing neck gestures and everything else. And even the other day, I noticed they were doing a story that at AmFest, they have a Charlie Kirk tent set up where basically you can take pictures, basically redoing the Charlie Kirk shooting at AmFest. Okay? And if you don't believe me, you can look that up. But this is what her party is. And for anybody who doesn't know, the cop that they're trying to label as a murderer, turns out he had internal bleeding from the hit of her automobile. So for everybody who thought that it wasn't serious, there was no injuries, he could have just moved to the side. Well, literally the man had internal bleeding. So now you can see why he opened fire. And also, where's this narrative coming from that women can't get shot? I don't know where that came from. Okay, like it's such a travesty to see a woman get shot. Listen, they could FAFO too. If you want to go out there and you want to put yourself in that predicament, you're going to find out just like a man will find out. There's no difference.
I think
Until
I'm surprised at that as a white woman, honestly.
look, until they make a trigger or a gas pedal that a woman can't pull or press on, if you involve yourself or engage yourself in any of these activities, you're gonna get shot. It is what it is. Like I said, to me, the victim in the whole thing, I do believe that she's a victim, but the biggest victim are the kids.
Mm-hmm.
As a mother, you should have been at home with your kids.
Yeah,
now, I
but
understand
they're
that you and your
training these
feelings-
people. They're training these people to do this. This is all by design. Crystal has talked about how they gather the troops to do these protests. They have this network. Well, come to find out, this lady, she attended some former class or program that would teach them, how to be radicals.
No, she was in a
And
group.
I think that the thought process was, hey, they wouldn't do this to a white woman. They wouldn't do this. She can go and impede and get in the way. They wouldn't dare do that. So they're using the quote unquote whiteness to their advantage. At least they're attempting to. And it didn't work. It didn't work this time.
Part of a
Spaces.
group. She was part of a group called, I think, Follow ICE or Track ICE or something like that, which
Yeah.
was basically just a group of liberal white women, okay, just feeling guilty, because that's what Democrats do, is just pour the guilt on to the liberal whites and send them out into the streets like little robots with a little wind up on the back and just send them out there and hope somebody gets shot. Democrats' biggest problem is they wanted a black or brown person to get shot. They just got the wrong color. But that doesn't mean they ain't going to stop trying. They're going to try to get somebody else to go ahead and jump out there. They need another George Floyd.
That's what they're doing now, because if they're not telling them to stop this, and you see these people crazy. The best thing the best thing that happened in the last 24 hours is Anton and Corey, because that gave me a break from all of this. I'm tired of it so much talking about it. But clearly I got to go back to it. They want something else to happen. They want someone else to be taken on.
I don't even think it's a want, Michonne. I think it's a need. I think they need this. It's all they have. They don't have solutions. Their policies suck. Their agenda is terrible. It's wicked. This is all they have. It's agitation. This is it.
Wise, if Democrats could have got there before the police got there, when she got shot, they would have made a blackface. So when the cops show up, they'd be like, yeah, man, it was a black woman. They shot a black woman in the head. I'm telling you, this is how desperate they are. Okay? They need something.
If it was a black woman, though, they would be.
Oh man!
They might have burnt the city down. On that one. It would have got real wild. I think it would have got real wild. Yeah. I want to give Spaces, Crystal, and Dion opportunity to get in there if they would like.
It's crazy that we're having this. As you guys speak, the more of my same exact thoughts come out. Right? Like what? And as soon as I see Jasmine Crockett, now I just got to call it Jasmine Crocodile Tears, because what are you even? You were one of the main people celebrating in a political manner, celebrating Charlie Kirk's death. You were one.
Can
of the
I ask you a
people
question real quick, Spaces? Do you think that she will take on or take up on Stephen A's request? Do you think she will pull up for that interview on his show? Do you think he would? Do you think she will?
Pulling up on any panel. You know what? Check this out.
It wouldn't be a panel. It'd be a one-on-one interview with him between her and Stephen A. Do you think she'll do it?
No, to answer your question. But not only will she not do it, but I don't want to see her debate Stephen A. I want to see her debate Byron Donalds. Because Stephen A.
She don't want no part to Byron Donalds.
She only goes. She's like a political Dr. Umar. She only goes on panels that's going to allow her to just vomit at the mouth. Just going where she can control the mic. All she does is just talk.
I mean, honestly, I don't know, man. I mean, I don't think if she was to come on the show, I think Stephen A. would spend 30 minutes of the show pandering to this woman. Honestly, I'm almost for certain he would. She would get all types of praise and adulation the entire show. He'd be very reluctant to be to be tough on her. I think it would be a super softball interview if she was to pull up. I really do.
In my mind, I think how differently the dynamic of this conversation would be as far as Renee Nicole Good or whatever her name is, how different the conversation would be if that was a MAGA person. That if she was a MAGA person, or if she was a black woman, how differently would your conversation be, Jasmine Crockett, if the situation was like that? Stop playing. Why? You know, she's her pockets are getting fed. That's why she keeps doing this. And so to some degrees, I'm like, whenever I see her on the screen, I'm like, she's just gonna say something stupid. I don't want to hear nothing she has to say. But at the same time, it's just great content because you know she's gonna say something stupid.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
Crystal, what are your thoughts? Answer that question for me. Do you think she'll pull up? Do you think she'll pull up and sit down and talk to Stephen A?
I was gonna say no, she's not, because unless she gets to pick out these questions, because Jasmine Crockett is another form of Kamala Harris. Let's just be real. She's another one. They only want those softball questions, those questions that they can frame exactly how they want to frame it. I told you we were on TikTok, and there were people that was it Sheldon
Sheldon
Daniels.
Daniels.
Sheldon
Yeah.
Daniels. They tried to set up a TikTok debate when she was still in running
in TX30. She didn't want no parts of that.
She wouldn't show up. She wouldn't want. She didn't. She said she was going to come, but she never showed up. She doesn't. If she can't control the environment, if she can't sit down amongst the women of the View, so they can continue to tell her how amazing she is, or MSDNC tell her how she's the best thing ever, or like Jamal Bryant who says this is our future president, this is who we want. If she doesn't have those type of people around her, she wants no parts. She's not going to show up. She's not going. She's scared. That's why I always say I appreciate people don't understand what Trump did was amazing. Trump went where people hated him, and he did not care. Whatever you want to come in and sit here and question me and give me the hardball questions, I'm gonna answer you. You may not like my answer, but you're gonna get it. That's how you're supposed to handle it. But her, nah, she ain't gonna show up to thing unless Stephen A. Smith. If you seek it, Jasmine Crockett on Stephen A. Smith's show, it's because they worked out a deal behind the scenes. That she'll come in, and you'll notice the questions will be very low key. They might try to add a little bit of tension, but then drop it right back down. That's how it'll be. And to answer Space's question, they had a MAGA version of Renee, quote unquote. They had Ashley Babbitt, and the way they treated Ashley Babbitt from J6, they said the people on the left said she was never supposed to be there, so she got what she deserved. That's what they said about her. So it's very interesting that when people say that Renee Good was not supposed to be there, they get real upset. The thing is, people forget the internet is still here. Like Michonne, I reacted to Jasmine Crockett too, and I was like, you hear her big mouth loud and clear dropping F-bombs when they asked for the moment of silence. But all of a sudden, you want to tell people about humanity? You had zero humanity when they asked for a moment of prayer. Her and her fake crocodile tears always irritates me. I cannot wait till she has no more seats. She's gone back to her life, wherever that may be. Don't bother to go into acting because she's not going to get a Tony or Golden Globe or Emmy or Oscar with that fake tears. Because
she's gonna be on The View or something. The View will gladly take her.
They might take her because she but then who knows how long The View will stay on, because people are sick of them too. So
I'm just saying, y'all could see her on The View, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, I could see her on The View easily.
Her and Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Oh,
Dion, do you have anything, or you want to keep it moving?
Just to say, I'm so sick of all the fakeism. I don't know what to do. All the gaslighting and everything. She acted like she was just so heartbroken about Renee Good, but I heard her say, she mentioned, she left a child behind. Well, she had 3 children actually, and 2 of them didn't even live with her because they had been undergoing abuse, allegedly, from the wife thing. So, study up on your sacrificial lamb or whatever y'all want to call it. I swear, I believe that these people, and this will sound crazy to folks that don't believe like this, but man, they operate in witchcraft on a whole nother level. They got some hired witchcraft practitioners on staff, because like I saw a video yesterday. Somebody had did the whole compilation a couple of years back when Maxine Waters and different ones of them were saying things like, you know, when you go out, basically when they were doing all the inciting violence and it hadn't started yet. And back then I was like, y'all sound real crazy. But man, I mean, everything that they said, somebody is doing it now. Everything they said, and it was several of them, leadership, in Congress or whatever. And I'm like, wow, man, all of that stuff has come full circle. And it's so, they wanted a George Floyd 2.0, granted. This one wasn't that, but they trying to force it to be that. I mean, of course they can't, because she's not the right ethnicity. But I was so aggravated early this morning because I saw a clip of showing that, the children in Minneapolis have been out of school this week because of all the goings on. Why are they parading these kids up and down the streets, chanting, ICE get out and F ICE and all that? High schoolers. And some woman running up alongside of them, asking them what they think about all the things, and of course these are babies. They don't know. They just spitting out everything that they hear, like many of their parents do. But it was they talking about really wanting something bad to happen. Why would you let your child walk out into something so volatile like that? We're fighting for change. We want ICE out. All this fakeness, fake concern, but nobody's concerned about the people who are victimized by these idiots that they're trying to get out of this country. No tears for them. Ain't nobody saying their name. I'm sick of it. I'm so fed up.
Yeah, man, it's crazy out there, man. Dion, if you can mute yourself.
The fraud too.
Yeah.
We're supposed to forget about all the fraud with all this.
Yeah. Oh no, I haven't forgot about the fraud. I'm still on that. I'm still on it. We can't let it go. And they're actually they're diving into California now as well.
Good.
Now, I don't know if you guys heard, but I want to play this right here. This is crazy. Up in North Minneapolis, there looks like there was another incident, ICE versus the protesters. Yeah, it's getting pretty crazy. We'll see how much I can show.
They looks like they're trying to force through to control the scene with their vehicle. They're clearing. There's a person arrested, it seems. I'm not quite sure, on the ground. She looks like she's cuffed. Yep. There's Border Patrol officers in full camo. They're armed with. A couple of them have night vision. You can put the microphone. Yes.
Dude, what are you doing? What made you sign your oath and do this to us? Is your dick that small? Is it? Did your uncle touch you at Christmas?
They looks like they're trying to force through to control the scene.
Yeah, as more information comes up, I'll see if I can pull it up. But man, it's crazy. Another incident. We don't have a whole lot of information. I was trying to see if I can find something, but looks like the protester hit or at least attacked an ICE agent. Somebody got to mute themselves. Okay. But yeah, attack an ICE agent with a shovel, and the looks like either ICE agent or a Border Patrol officer protected themselves, and another person messed around and found out. It's crazy, man. Crazy. Sheesh, these people losing their minds up there, man.
Any one of them can get it. Stop running up. It's just like that.
Years past, you would hear hardly anything about ICE. Baby, ice would be moving so smooth and quiet because things were running the way they were supposed to. Another thing, I know all of y'all are just like me, sick and tired of folks like Jacob Fry, whatever his name, Frey, whatever, standing up saying how, we're trying to work with them, with ICE, you know, and basically just, keeping the anger going, feeding the flames, of about how, the communities, they're instilling fear and this and that. It ain't even supposed to be going down like this. ICE would just go to location, go to the jail, the prison, to the court, grab up whoever they were going to get and be gone. They would just be moving so stealth. But, now things, I mean, they oh my gosh, they caused the chaos.
And then
They
complain about
literally
there
set
being
things
chaos.
up.
That's
I
what.
just,
Sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, that's okay. It's just, it's so upsetting, to
Yeah,
just
it
watch
is.
this. And I mean, when I saw those high school kids this morning, I mean, they were like, going out and like stopping traffic. This is important enough. What? Kids? Who's kid? Who? What parent? Well, what do I mean? What parent? Yeah, there's some parents that are
Nah, there's
allowing.
some
Yeah,
parents
baby,
out
go
there.
on out there. Go on out there and protest. They want something to happen to one of these babies. Oh my gosh. Just talk about diabolical.
Well, it all comes down to votes. This is what it all comes down to. They just can't say it on mainstream TV. They're basically losing their voter base. Okay, and if Trump gets in this the mail-in ballot, if he gets that off with voter ID, they're cooked. They are truly cooked, and that's their biggest fear. But they're not going to tell their constituents that. They're going to tell their constituents, "Hey, look, they're the Gestapo. They're out there. They're just deporting people and breaking up families, and they're trying to get an emotional reaction out of you." But to these people, they have no emotion. Everything is done behind power and money. Okay, those are the only two things that move these people. They have no compassion. They don't care about no Somalis. They don't care about black people. They don't care about brown people. You know, and this is why all the winning that Trump is doing right now, and if he pulls off something in Iran, dude, they are cooked. They are truly cooked. Because when you get to these countries, when you get to South America, these Latin countries, you get to these Middle Eastern countries, bro, they only look at strong men. That's who they follow. Okay, and I told Celeste this a few weeks back that when he got elected, that was the rallying cry for the world. Remember, I told you that we talked about Ireland and the movements going on in the UK. When Trump got elected, it was like an okay to the world to fight back. And that's what you're seeing all across the world. And if he pulls something off in Iran, let me tell you, that 2026, I don't care how many ballots they try to stuff into them ballot boxes, it ain't gonna work. Because the people like wins. There's wins across the board, whether you're into global politics, local politics, gas prices are $1.90. I saw it at $1.87. Bro, if they make it down to $1 a gallon, okay, my daddy will roll back over in his grave. Okay, and be like, the sun is shining, baby. I ain't seen $1, okay, since like 1992. All
Well,
right.
I was just gonna let y'all know. The thing is, I call this a level of domestic terrorism. Like that's how I see it. They have these people because, like I explained to Wise, um, this is coordinated. They've already called all the different people from different places. I'm sure the people that are running around, like chickens without a head in Minneapolis, they don't even live in Minneapolis. Like I have a very strong feeling a good portion of them don't even live in Minneapolis because even when we were down here in Atlanta and they were upset about they had Cop City that they were building out for a new training center for cops and things like that in Atlanta. They had all these protests. All these people showed up. There was only one person in that whole group of people that lived in Atlanta. Everybody else came from everywhere else. And it was a whole bunch of people there. So, like I said, they coordinate these things. They call the people from different places. They have different organizations. All these different organizations, they bleed into each other and they have people. That's why you'll see some of the same protesters in 6, 7, 8 different protests for all different types of reasons. And it's the same person over and over again. They're collecting a check and they're doing it to collect a check. As I said, I was working on a video earlier and I just said, it's so crazy to me. These people talk about oppression and Trump is a dictator and this fascist and tyranny. They don't know what that is. Look at the people in Iran. It is blacked out. So the world can't see what's going on in Iran for a reason. For a reason. And if it wasn't for Elon pushing in Starlink into Iran right now, there's a lot of things we still wouldn't see. There's stuff that's being able to come out because they have Starlink, because they removed their access because they don't want the world to see what they're about to do. So these people over here, they are privileged, entitled brats, and they know nothing about what true oppression looks like.
No, you're absolutely right. When's the last time you seen that many white people in DC? Okay, DC is named Chocolate City for a reason.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. Well, I'm just saying, when Trump sent in them National Guards, I ain't never seen that many white people in DC in my life outside of the monuments. Okay, so you already know that this is paid protesting. It's just like Crystal said, they bust these people in from everywhere else. They've already seen tour buses on the scene where these people are getting off and getting back on, okay? And they do this for a living. And that's why we have to get down to who's funding this. You know, they got some good ideas.
We know.
We got an idea who funded it. We definitely got an idea of who's funding it.
We know about 3 or 4 of them.
Yeah, it's just is somebody gonna do something about it? But I want to keep it moving.
Speculation out there.
Let's keep it
One
moving.
last thing to Rolando's point. You know, for all this talk about historically why Republicans
You're breaking
can't
up.
back the House,
You're breaking up.
for all the reasons why. Go ahead.
She's breaking up.
Just go ahead.
Okay, I just had one thing. I sent the super chat about this. Americans, think about this. You are fighting against ICE in favor of the people that are stealing your tax dollars. Think about that. ICE's job is to get the people that are breaking the law out of the United States of America. And you're fighting against them. You're blowing your horns in your cars. You're blowing your whistles. You're throwing snow at them. You're spitting on them. You're charging at them with shovels in favor of the people that are not out on these streets advocating for you.
Spaces is because they've been brainwashed. Most of these people went to liberal college and they've been brainwashed to be taught that their privilege equals somebody else's misery. And they should feel guilty about that. They should be feeling guilty about where they were born, who they were born to, what opportunities they have. Hey, listen, man, life is a crapshoot, dude. You know, some of us hit the genetic lottery and we was happen to be born in America. And some others, not so much. But you know, I'm a card player, bro. At the end of the day, you play the cards that you're dealt. You know, and I don't know where this guilt came from to just teach, you know, these liberals that, hey, bro, you're the reason why I don't have what I feel I should have. So you should go out, be successful, and then whatever you get, you should give me a portion of that. That's not how life works. Okay, God gives everybody talent. All right. The problem is most people don't discover what their talent is before their time is up on this planet. Okay, But God doesn't put anybody on this planet, dude, without the ability to do something. Okay? So people just need to stop complaining about what they don't have and be happy about the things they do have.
Let me read a couple super chats and we're gonna keep it moving. Shout out to Hunter. Did we read this? No, I guess not. With the $10 super chat says, not only that, Ro, but I just seen an article where players on GTA Grand Theft Auto Online is making custom modes or custom game modes where you are the Robertsons on, or where you are Robertson on a rooftop. Okay, that's crazy. Wow, that doesn't surprise me though. Shout out to D Siri with the $10 super chat says they're scrambling so hard to demonize this side of the aisle before the midterms. It's all performative nonsense. Yeah. And shout out to what is that, SNK fan coming through with the $2 super chat, said acting the fool and not a Somali in sight. No, I don't see any Somalis, but there are some black folks that probably shouldn't be out there protesting. Like, but I want to play this for you guys, and we're gonna keep it moving.
Give you all a little secret, since nobody wants to say it out loud. Those countries that you fighting for, secretly, they don't even like you. Do you realize how many people talk bad about Americans? How many of them mock us?
And this is why we tell y'all to stay y'all black ass home and don't go out there protesting and shit. So there was a black man who went out to protest with the Venezuelans that's in America. He went out to protest with them and show his love and support and how he disagrees with what Trump has done. And
Country, you are not from my country. Don't be stupid. You are not from my country.
these people called this man the N-word, told him, you're not from there. Why do you care? I can't even be mad because why do you care? It's not like this is something new. We been knew these people ain't like us.
Helping the enemy used to be called treason. Now it's called being a Democrat.
Oh man, Mashai, what are your thoughts on this brother out there, man? Why? Why is this brother out there?
I don't know why any of them are out there, honestly. In the beginning, I was like, whoa, child, this white on white crime. Because at first it was black fatigue. That was the big thing. And then all of a sudden this came up. I was like, damn, white people, y'all are wilding. Y'all need to get it together. I was like, black people, stay out of it. What start to happen? Here they come creeping their butts on up in there. And I'm like, there's a lady that just did the, y'all talked about it this morning or yesterday morning with the lady from Philly, where she was saying all this mess. And I was like, who is this woman? I don't even know who this is. And then it was another woman that's saying they're doing a blackout now. No work, no school, and no something else. I don't know if y'all saw that. And I was like, girl, y'all can't do anything anyway because y'all all in the daggone streets and they're doing it for one day. And it's like she has a priest collar around her neck, like she's the priest in charge of the black people or something, out there with a bunch of white people. No shade, white people. Out there with a bunch of white people, a bunch of white women. And why do they always look crazy? They got clown hair, things through their nose, always got a cloth of, I call it ABCD, all those colors on. They look like they just woke up out of a ditch. I'm like, y'all follow, like if you take a group picture, I'm like, y'all are following these people? They look like they don't even know what they're talking about. Every single time I watch this, which is one of the reasons I'm over it, I'm like, if this is who you choose to listen to, then no wonder that you all be getting these stupid results because you follow stupid people. And then for us to start coming out there saying, we gotta, wait. Black Lives Matter was just out there cutting for her. Black Lives Matter. I said, y'all was nowhere to be found when that lady was getting beat up in Chicago by them kids. Now all of a sudden, here you are out here for this white woman, but never knowing any place where there's any actual black people. I said, do y'all see this? This is how I present it. Do y'all see this? I was like, but all y'all got is you must be a MAGA supporter. No, I'm just using common sense. This is stupid and they playing in your face. I said, because all y'all want to do is just act like you're put upon. These people are leading you down the wrong path. You're willingly following them, but I guess that's the theme of the night, child. That just has to be the theme of the night. And I got no empathy and no sympathy. And it's like one after the other, and they're starting to creep out, the 92%. They're coming out like a roach here and a roach there, no shade. But it's like one at a time, and it's too much. Like, mind the business that pays you. We finally don't need to be involved in something, and you're going to find a way to get us involved in it. And then, God forbid, if something happens, shout out to the liberal white women, because they leading you down this road. You're willingly following them, and then they're going to drop you off as they always do. And it's Lucy with Charlie Brown with the football, because I got that drop too. And then you'll just be on your butt like Charlie Brown is every single time for some mess that you had no business being in. Just sit here and watch this show like the rest of us are. But what do they say? They say to me, "You're next," and I'm like, "I'm next what? I'm next what? You're what? What? Because I can mind my business."
In line for The Price is Right.
I'm supposed to be scared because I guess they're supposed to be coming after me next to take me where? Back to the state I was born in? Because there's no place for me to go but here. I'm like, y'all are crazy to be feeding into this foolishness. And if it's so bad, why are y'all still here? And why are y'all still asking the same government that you can't stand for benefits, food, childcare, Section 8, and all these other things? It's still that story. But I digress.
Yeah. Yeah. Where was Black Lives Matter when Dakar Thomas was found? I mean, these people are ridiculous, man.
Hey, Brother
The
Wise.
selective outrage of Black Lives Matter is just unbelievable.
Hey, Brother Wise, give me a moment. It's time for me to blow the top off this show. I'm about to say some real controversial stuff right here. So, no, man, don't do me like that, Wise. Come on now. Just because I'm
You said
say
give you a
stuff.
moment. I'm giving you a moment, bruh.
Okay. I want to let Black America know, okay, that outside of the U.S., most of these people hate your guts. Okay? And I know it's a light-skinned dude telling you this, but it's true. All right? Africans don't like you. Okay? And if you go to most Hispanic countries, they don't like you either. Okay? And let me break it down. I had a friend, okay? His dad was Nigerian. His mom was Spaniard, okay, from Spain. This man would trash talk black people, okay, all the time. This dude had literally 3 jobs. He had one job as a janitor. He drove a taxi on the other job and did something else. So you never really ever saw this guy, okay? And he would always say, Black Americans are lazy and entitled, okay? That's from his perspective. Now, I met some Ethiopians, okay, up in Ohio, up in Columbus. I wish Josh was here because he'll tell you there's a lot of Africans in Columbus, Ohio. Okay? And the first thing I said, now this is back in the day, I go to meet them, and Wise, you know how we do it. We just go to get a handshake and say, "What up, man?" You know what I'm saying? The first thing this man looked at me with the African accent and said, "I am not an N. I am African. There's a difference." And he took real offense. And I was like, "Hey, man, I ain't trying to be disrespectful. You know, that's just how we greet." He's like, "Yeah, I understand that, but there's a distinction." Okay? And in South America, okay, unless you are a Black Latino, that means your family goes back decades, you know, since the slave trade. Bro, outside of that, if you're an outside African American, they don't like you. And I know this from experience. I've heard it. I've seen it. Okay? You go to these countries and it's totally different. Okay? In Cuba, they call them maroons. Okay? And in Spanish culture and my culture, we call them morenos. In Mexican culture, they call them mayates. You know, you go down to South America, they have all types of different names for them down there. Okay? And just to show you that the racism is real, I used to work for a guy, he was Brazilian. Now, Brazilian is technically not Spanish. They speak Portuguese. But if you go down there, their thing is Portuguese, Spanish, then English. That's how their languages go. Okay? So this guy married a Puerto Rican wife. He has a company with about 50 employees. All his employees are Spanish. Every single one. Even on the outside looking in, you will see some black ones. And you will say, no, how is he racist, dude? He's got some black employees. They're black Cuban, they're black Brazilian, and they're black South Americans. Okay? If you weren't Spanish, he wouldn't hire you. Period. So black people need to understand that in this country, okay, sometimes they try to pull themselves away from just being American and just be like, oh, well, I'm more African than American. You are American. The second you leave this country, that's what everybody is going to label you as. American. Period. Not African American, not Black American. None of these little titles. You are American.
Oh, yeah. As soon as you open your mouth and they hear your accent, they immediately know, okay, you're from America.
Exactly.
Definitely.
And the reason they hate you, okay, is because you were born into the golden ticket of life. And they feel that you are privileged, okay?
And you're not taking advantage.
You are entitled and you are not taking advantage of the opportunity that your God has given you. Because there are billions of people in this world who would definitely want to take your place in a second. Work 3 jobs the rest of their life and not complain. Okay? So
absolutely.
That's what it really comes down to. People haven't stepped outside this country, don't know what it's like outside this country. You know, you will not be welcomed in a lot of places. And the people you think that like you don't like you. And the Venezuelan calling you the N-word, that's just a tip of it. You haven't seen anything. I've been in bars with Colombians, Puerto Ricans, they all hang out in the same bar. And when they talk about black people, bro, it ain't nice. That's why when you go to California, you don't see the blacks and the Mexicans mixing. Why?
No.
Because of that. I'm telling you, it is real. Believe it or not, it's real.
No, I believe it. And that's why I don't think folks should be out there like that. But, you know, you can't tell folks nothing. Spaces, what are your thoughts, bro?
You know, I think all of this hoopla over Renee Good, I just think about the Americans that who you know go against ICE and then turn around and complain about ICE defending themselves. I think about the countless stories that I've heard about, not heard, that I've watched people explain about. Was the ICE agent within his rights or within his capabilities as an agent? Should he be around the car? I don't care who you are. If you are an American fighting against ICE in favor of illegals and you suffer some sort of physical harm, you deserve it. I'll say it again. You deserve it.
What are your thoughts on what are your thoughts on the brother being out there? You know what I'm saying? They call him the N-word and everything. What are your thoughts on that dude out there protesting, and these folks, they don't even want him out there?
Man, go mind your business, bro. Go mind your business, man. Why are you out there? These people, there's some Somalians in particular, right? Because that's the story right now. Somalians right now they only align with you when, as far as being black, when it benefits them. As soon as
you can say that about a lot of different groups out there. Mm-hmm. You can say that about, you know, a multitude of groups out there that, you know, they'll align when it benefits.
Yeah, and I'm just, you know, specifying the Somalians because that's the hot topic right now. I've heard it with my own ears. I'm sure ears. We've heard it. I'm sure we've all heard it with our own ears and our own experiences in life. Nigerians only call themselves black when it comes time to talk about some sort of reparations or some sort of financial gain, some sort of benefit. All of these other people only call themselves black when it comes time to get some money. But as soon as you start talking about the negative things, oh no, that's not us. No, those are American black people. That's not us. Go home, bro. Mind your business. I'm sure you got a family. I'm sure you got some kids to worry about. I'm sure you got some stocks to buy, some stocks to research. I'm sure you got some business ventures that you want to pursue. I'm sure you want to get a promotion at work. Go home and focus on that. Get out of the way. Let the crazy people do the craziness, and you go home and mind your business. That's it. That's all.
Hey, does anybody else want to add anything?
Yes. This is just an unholy alliance. These white women are out here fighting, not because they are so in love with the Somalians or any other immigrant population. They're out there because they're using this issue as a way to attack white men. And they're trying to drag black people into this for exactly that reason. Because not because black people are in love with the Somalians or any other immigrant population, but they want to use what they think is our hatred or dislike of white men, and they're all using these issues as a way to attack what they think is the real oppressor or who is oppressing them. So this is a bunch of people who are, this is all for show. It has nothing, because if they had this kind of care about Somalians, we would have heard about this years ago. This is only that this is a convenient way for them to go out and attack who they really want to attack, which is the white man, because they feel like it is the power. Once they attack him, then they can rip down and destroy what they believe is his power structure. That's what this is.
I was gonna say, just a few short things. Number one, that black guy was on the wrong side because he thought the Venezuelans were against what Trump did, and that's why they were calling him all those names, because he was fighting against what Trump did, and those Venezuelans were celebrating. Many times over, Americans think that they know what is going on in other people's countries, and they have no idea. But they think they know because they're so entitled and privileged. So they think everybody. When you look at the rest of the world, people are celebrating Trump, but the liberal Democrat movement have people thinking that the world is laughing at Trump. No, the many nations want Trump as their president. They wish they had someone like Trump to help eradicate what is going on in their countries. So that guy went out there thinking, because as the video said, he was going there to stand with Venezuelans against the Trump's movement, but he was on the wrong side because the Venezuelans are celebrating because they got out from under the thumb of Maduro. Just the same way as many people are fighting against.
Crystal, you know why Spanish men love Trump? Because of that word you use, machismo.
Yeah. What do you call it? I think they're fighting. They're not standing up for Iran right now, and the Iranians that are living here in America are watching that too. So again, they find themselves on the wrong side of the situation, and mind the black business that you own. How about that? That's just how I see it. Mind your own black business. That's what you're supposed to do, because you're not supposed to be in everybody's thing. And the thing is, a lot of times black people like to run out ahead and try to be the voice for everything, and it is not your fight. Sometimes you need to know how to take a seat, sit down, mind your business, and let the people fight who want to fight. That is not your business, because again, so many times we've seen people get hurt or people get in problems because they put themselves in a place they don't belong. Renee put herself in a place that she did not belong. Now, let have been a black person, the whole I think every city would have been burnt down by now, which I wasn't in the mood for. But I'm thankful for all the black people that are getting on social media and telling everybody, mind your black business. And I won't say all Africans and people from other countries don't like black Americans, because there are some people that do like black Americans. But the thing is, for the most part, they do differentiate themselves, because I had someone here who told me, when I said, she's like, I've never worked for a black woman before. And I was like, well, it's great. And she was like, well, no, I'm not black, I'm African. And I was just like, what? I'm confused. Very confused. But so you have to be careful. The thing is, you're picking up arms for the people that literally have been defrauding the United States, defrauding all of you and laughing in your face. I don't understand why people are even trying to fight that fight.
Well, Crystal, I would disagree on one little thing. I don't. I think they like more the culture than the person. You know.
No, I have a lot of friends who are of outside of the United States, and I have Black American friends, and I have friends from outside, and they all get along. That's what I'm saying. It's not everybody. There's bits and pieces of people that are like that. It's not everyone. There are people who are like that, and there are people that aren't like that.
Yeah, because I've met my fair share of plenty of Africans, be it Nigerians, Guyanese, just pick one, a few Kenyans in there. And they basically, the older generation, that's how they feel. Now, the younger generation is a little different because they're influenced by our music and, the other things that we do. Like we inspire Afro beats and things like that. So I think the newer generation is maybe a little more welcoming. But I tell you what, the old heads, no. All the old heads
I think
I've
it
ever
depends
met
on where
was
you
like,
are.
no.
I think it depends on where you are in the world. And I've been fortunate enough to travel and see a bunch of places, and it's been love. Most places, it's been love. And a lot of folks do rock with, Americans when they see us. Some of it could just be the fact that they want to get some dollars. But I mean, I've been a lot of places. It's been love. But let's keep it moving. Couple super chats, and we'll keep it moving. Hit the like button for me if you haven't done so already. If you're watching on the cell phone stream, just double tap the phone. Or if you're watching on TV, you can hit the like button as normal. Shout out to Rochester with the $10 super chat. Says, I'm a veteran who went to college late. White female liberals. Shaking my head. Yeah. There's something else. Blue Sky with the $5 super chat says, follow the money. Those that are funding these movements are against capitalism and freedom of religion. Yep. And shout out to Frederick Howard coming through with the $5 super sticker. Appreciate you. We're going to lighten it up a little bit. This young lady tells a story about going to the club. So more relationship based.
Out, got into an argument with a man. Got to arguing with him and stuff like that. And then I guess like he tried to get physical with her. So she ended up leaving the club or whatever. Her friend stayed, she left. She ended up texting the guy that she was dating, telling him about what was going on. Instead of him jumping to her defense, he said, first of all, you wasn't even supposed to be there tonight.
Yep. Yeah, now that's
Secondly, why would you argue with a man in a club and I'm not there?
Yep. Yeah.
Third of all, why would you argue with a man in a club? Period. You don't know this man. You don't know what he got outside in his trunk. You don't know nothing. So basically, he told her, you're wrong. You don't listen. You're at this point, I don't even want to deal with you no more because you won't even allow me to lead. You don't listen to nothing that I say.
Yep.
I'm not about to lose my future. I'm not about to lose my life because I'm defending you when you decided to be dumb in that moment. So,
Okay. I want to start with one of the brothers, Spaces. What are your thoughts, man? You breaking up with the girl?
1,000%. That she's at the very least she's on the chopping block, because you don't. One of the things that women go wrong when it comes to relationships and specifically the dynamics with men is men need to handle men. You take a back seat when it comes to a situation, when it comes to you potentially being in danger, some sort of physical or verbal altercation coming on, because I've seen it myself with my own eyes when a dude was about to turn up or even come and talk to a girl, and he happens to see the guy that she's with like walk up on her or hold her, like put his hand around her waist or whatever, and dude is like, he walks away. But if you are at the same time, if you are arguing with the man, that tells me that you don't respect me. That tells me that you are willing to run your mouth and put me in a position where I may have to put my life on the line for you, in which, heavens forbid, the situation escalates, I lose my life, or I get some sort of serious injury. You're gonna be on to the next man. So absolutely, she's on a chopping block for real. And it's crazy because I was at that live show. I was there in the audience in that show. Yeah, that was fun. That was fun. But nah, yeah. Nah. What you do is you let me handle that. A situation starts popping off, a dude gets in your face, or even a woman gets in your face. I'm gonna do like this to your stomach. You get behind me, and we're gonna either leave. I'm gonna diffuse the situation, or we gonna move to a different part of the venue of wherever we're at, so we can continue enjoying our night. You don't say nothing. I'll figure this out, and then whatever comes afterwards, then we'll talk about that after we're out of this situation. But don't embarrass me and try to argue with another man.
Indeed. Michonne, what are your thoughts?
I absolutely agree with the breakup, of course. But there's a lot of women that have the attitude of, you're not gonna tell me, another drop, where they're in charge. And that's, in my opinion, a lot of part of why there's so many issues with relationships, because women want to be in charge of men. But when we've seen these situations happen before on like news programs, the one that comes to mind is the girl in the bodega in New York, where she couldn't afford 25-cent bag of potato chips, and the man wouldn't give it to her for free. So she goes and gets the boyfriend to come in, and now he's taking on up out of here. And the fact that there's dudes that just come into a situation blind on the strength of what some woman allegedly said, and it's like, why would you be out here? I would never argue with a man. I wouldn't even get to be that far to even have an argument, especially if I'm by myself. So why? Well, I know why. A lot of women think that they're men. Shout out to the liberal white women that's all up and down Minneapolis thinking that they're men, jumping in front of cars and thinking that they're special and no one will run them over. So there's a lot of that going on. And he was right. Actually, he's one of the mature people to even say that and say, I'm done with you. And I think he did the right thing. It'll be something else soon enough. If you're going to be arguing with a man, there'll be something else soon enough.
Yeah. What did she expect? Did she expect for him to, get up in the middle of the night, run down to the club and defend her honor? I mean, is that what she expected?
So. That's why they said that the friend stayed while she went and called him. So that's what I think that's what the expectation would be. And there's enough people that would do that and then end up in jail, dead. And then the girl that moved on with the next man that quick anyway.
Mm-hmm. I was going to say that. How many brothers have crashed out over some woman, more times than not, something she instigated or lied about or over exaggerated, and now that brother is either locked up, he done caught a body, or he in a casket somewhere. It's ridiculous, man.
Or
ridiculous.
Stuck against the law, fighting cases, can't get his life together. He can't get his money together because he's paying lawyers while she's out having fun with the next man.
Yeah. Because they move on quick. They move on quick.
The only thing that get me out of bed at 2:00 in the morning is some booty or a tragedy. You know what I'm saying? So you better, you know what I'm saying? That's the only time I'm moving at 2:00 in the morning. I'm gonna tell you right now.
Welcome back.
So but
what'd you say? What'd you say, Uncle Ro? What's gonna get you out of bed?
Booty or a tragedy?
Another T-shirt.
I do not like the sound of that, bro.
You better be giving me some booty, or somebody better have died. You know what I'm saying? Because, bro, I ain't Trump. I ain't on vampire time. You know what I'm saying? I'm asleep at 2 and 3 in the morning.
This guy, man.
You know what I'm saying? But still, don't get me wrong, Wise. If I get that call, the only thing I'm gonna do, dude, is I'm gonna be a man and I'm gonna compartmentalize. And I'm going to put her in the little toy section. You know what I'm saying? Because, dude, I ain't going to throw away. You know what I'm saying? I'm like a monkey when it comes to women, bro. I don't let go of one branch until I got a hold of the next branch. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I'm going to keep her around, bro, because good booty's hard to come by. But I won't be taking her seriously. You know what I'm saying? Because, dude, I ain't showing up to fight nobody. You know what I'm saying? Because, dude, things is hard enough when you're not looking for problems. I'll give you this story right quick, right? A friend of mine at the time, she was a friend with benefits. She called me up. She said, listen, I want to go out tonight, have some drinks. I said, all right, that's cool. So she picked a bar not too far. We're in the bar. We sitting there all night, having some drinks, taking some selfies, putting it on social media, having a good time. You know what I mean? The end of the night come, I step to the bar to pay the tab. As soon as I walk to the bar, dude, three guys walk over to her and just like start talking to her, dude. And all these guys were over 6 foot, close to the two. Some of them were over 200 pounds. You know what I'm saying? I'm 6'1", but I'm about 180 pounds. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I pay the bill. I come over. I say, hey man, can I help you? No, bro. I say, yeah, man, but she with me. And then they gave me the size up look. All right. So anyway, I moved the conversation from there. I say, hey man, where y'all from? And they say, oh, we from Jersey. I say, I'm from Jersey too. They like, what part? I'm from Newark. You know, which is known as the rough part. So they know I got some hood in me. All right. Now, mind you, we go to walk out. I don't look back, but I tell the woman I'm walking with, I said, listen, when we make it to your truck, because we went in her vehicle, I said, when we make it to your truck, if these guys are still behind me, I'm going to grab my firearm and I'm going to open fire on all three guys. You know what I mean? So we make it to a truck, look back, the guys never followed us out, and we left. But that's how quick situations can spiral over women. You know what I mean? Because I don't know what these guys thought. They thought maybe all three of them beat me up and she'd be so impressed that she'd go home with all three of them. I don't know what they were thinking. You know what I'm saying? But that's the world that we live in today. You know, so it's hard enough just going out on regular and hoping something don't happen, let alone somebody going out and picking a fight and making something happen. You know, women used to be the ones who used to protect their man. Get in between, baby, it ain't worth it. Let's go home.
When was that the case? When has that been the case, bro?
No, that's the case.
I mean, we got 30 or 40 years of stories of, you know, women crashing out, calling dudes, and having them crash out. No, you shake your head. You disagree, Celeste?
Do that. I've seen plenty of
You
women
disagree?
do that where a good woman who really cares about her man. Okay.
No. I agree with you there. Yeah,
like, okay.
a good woman, but those few far between.
Yes.
All right, so here's I'm now you all done got me again. I am of the belief when I see these stories, and of course when I listen to Spaces tell his experience, I'm like, the pickings out here must be incredibly slim. I don't even understand why you all are dating people like this. First of all, I would not be in public arguing with anyone. I wouldn't argue with a woman. I don't know, these women out here crazy. I'm definitely not arguing with a man in public. I'm definitely not stepping away from my friends. If I'm in a group, I'm not leaving the group. So what? You could come take me on one-on-one with no witnesses? That's stupid. And if I really believed I were in harm's way, I'm calling my father. There's no way I would be calling any of you all. I'm concerned that as a man, you are taking calls from women that you are not married to have these life-altering defense events. Now, I can understand, Rolando, your situation. It's one thing if you're walking somewhere and somebody's behind you and you you and the woman are under some threat. But in general, this woman is not your wife. I don't did paying bills and popping guns and all of that. I
was popping no gun for her. I was popping a gun for me. They weren't gonna beat her up. They were gonna beat me up.
I exempted you, Rolando. I understand if you're under some immediate harm, but I don't even understand. You all are in this conversation like this is commonplace, and like if a woman could, you're actually somewhere deciding, no, I'm not gonna. I can't even believe you would date a woman that would call you. She's not calling her father. That's who needs to. If she's in some, honestly, in some harm's way, that is the person that she needs to be calling. You didn't marry her. She knows that. You know that. I don't understand people who are taking on marital responsibilities without being married. Defending me with your life is something your husband does. Paying your bills is something your husband does. I think the reason people are so upset, men are so upset about dating, women are so dissatisfied, is because we're all out of order. We are all playing these roles. We're playing, I'm like your wife, I'm wifey, and I'm like, you're like my husband, and you are assuming duties that don't belong to you, and I'm assuming roles that don't belong to me, and we stay in flux and in disappointment. Everybody should stay away from all of that until you decide this is the person you're going to marry, and then they rightfully step into that spot and take on those responsibilities. All of this stuff about, and I'll tell you where it stems from. It stems from sex. If you're not having sex, you don't feel like you need to be calling anybody because you don't feel like they owe you anything. And the men who you're calling don't feel like, well, I might need to go because this is a piece of whatever, rose booty and tragedy and whatever else. Look, everybody needs to stay off of all of that. You need to stop playing relationship and stop playing marriage. Either be with somebody or don't. But all of that, it would never occur to me. I can promise you, if I dated anybody on this panel, you would never get a phone call from me over something important.
Well, you do know that the kids of today don't believe in marriage. Let me just say that they don't believe in marriage. But it reminds me of the story in Chicago where the lady was arguing with a man in the hood spot. I don't know if y'all remember that one. And her son had to come in and kill the man.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
We covered that on my pod. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, why are we arguing with a man? I agree. Like that's the part right there that stems it all off. Just like the girl that was in the store arguing over 25-cent bag of potato chips. It's equality stuff. That's what I think. It's everybody's equal, which I keep telling people we're not equal. We're equal with rights. We're not equal. Men are not women and women are not men. But I feel like, especially since I don't even know what happened with this transgender thing. People are like, you can compete with me, but then I'm mad when I lose, but I'm letting men compete with me. So I feel like people are psychologically stupid and not trying to improve that at any moment. Why would you be arguing, just like you said, with anybody, let alone I'm not, as a woman, going to argue with a man because he can slap me at any moment and I'm going to be down. That's just how I think that's going to be. So I'm on that altogether, let alone a woman as well, because it's just not worth it to me. But these people just, in my mind, I think they think that I can just do it because we're equal, because men and women are the same. Think with that thinking and then put themselves in these dumb situations. And I agree, then these dummies come out here and die over somebody that's not worth it anyway. And I wouldn't even want to call my husband to come out here because I'm arguing with some man, because his response should be, why are you arguing with some man? Bring yourself home. You know what I mean? So
I think the issue with it is, and I think this is where Miss Celeste and I bump heads, is because she thinks in the ideal and I think in the reality. The reality is, if a woman is dealing with a man, let's just dating or in a relationship with a man for a year or 2 years, she's looking at that man as the man that is supposed to be a male, physical, masculine presence in her life. So if she's facing a situation where she's going to fight somebody or like she needs him to intervene, she's going to call the man that she's been dealing with, that she's, and to your point, Miss Celeste, she's been sleeping with, that she is most familiar with. And that's the reality of what happens. So the only way we can live in the ideal situation is if we revert back to arranged marriages, which is not going to happen, at least in Western society. And the reality is she's going to look at her boyfriend. She's going to look at her man, or the man that is a masculine presence in her life, to intervene in that situation. So that's why it's like, yes, that's for me, the person that I'm dealing, like the in a lot of cases, yes, for men to women and women to men, the pickings are slim. At the same time, there's still a lot of pickings. So if a woman is putting you as a man in a situation where she is the one that's escalating this situation, or she's in this situation, period, she is not a representation of you, and she has no regard for you as a man. Because you as a man, in order for you because you're a man, you have to be willing to defend her, period.
So
period.
I'm gonna go back. Pre-Jesus Crystal, that was in her 20s, didn't know Jesus that well. Yeah, I did fight men in the club because I was very toxic.
Crystal, what? 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 No, Crystal.
I ain't called no man. I handled it myself.
That surprised y'all?
If you got out of order with me,
it don't surprise me.
And you tried me, I'm not playing. Like why are you touching me? I didn't give you permission to touch me. Why are you touching me? That was pre-Jesus Crystal. Listen, pre-Jesus
Crystal is a musher. She's the one that get close to you and give you the 5. No. I'm talking about like the whole palm. She the whole palm type. You be arguing with Crystal, and Crystal would just do this. And you be like, where that come from?
Crystal don't put no hand on nobody, because my daddy said don't put your hand on no man.
No, I'm talking pre-Jesus Crystal.
I'm talking about pre-Jesus Crystal.
Okay.
If you don't put your hand on me, I'm not touching you. But the minute you touch me, I'm gonna come back. That was pre-Jesus Crystal. So as a mom, I'm very cognizant of the type of women, because I remember that toxic trait of me. Now back then, I didn't care about anything. I really didn't care. So Michonne said, and that whole transgender thing, I had to fight a transgender person in the club one time because he thought she was a she, and he was stepping on my shoes, and I was upset, and I was like, I'm not playing with you. Like, I don't care how big you are, I will knock you out. And I got a beer bottle, broke the beer bottle. I'm like, I'm not playing with you.
Who are you? Who are you?
Jesus saves.
Hey, Wise, can I address a couple things from the chat?
Quickly.
Yes. I just want to tell Debbie that yes, I am 6 foot. I'm actually 6'1". She thought I was 6'2". I'm 6'1", 180 pounds, and yes, that's true. Okay, and to the other lady who is older than dirt, okay, in there talking about that I'm a punk. Okay, yeah, you can scroll through the chat if you want to see the little comment.
Stop, Rolando.
Come on now, Ro.
At the end of the day, no, I just want to address this. I'm not going to attack her.
Rolando,
all
let me
I'm going to
finish my
say
thought,
is this:
please.
when it comes to the story that I said, like I said, that was one of those situations where you have 3 guys who are 200 plus pounds, okay, jumping onto one guy, they can kill a guy. One guy attacking one guy can kill someone, let alone 3. Okay,
that is true.
So before you go to playing out and saying, "Hey, you wasn't there," okay, understand that I do have a lady with me, so things could have got really ugly. I thank God I've been a gun owner since I was 22 years old, concealed weapons, the whole 9. I never had an incident, and I hope I never will. Okay, this ain't about trying to prove who's the baddest or whatever. This is always about protection. Okay, and protecting yourself doesn't mean that you're not a Christian.
So so what I was saying is, after, I never called a man. And Celeste is right. I would have called my daddy or my uncle real quick, but I wasn't calling no man, even though I was in relationships. I was going to handle it myself. And then when I caught myself, was a girl, this is when I was living in Florida. She gave a guy, this is when things just started. I started seeing the change in life, because a girl gave a guy her wrong number. Like, she gave him a fake number, and he called it right in front of her. And then he shot her in the face.
He shot her in the face. Yeah, I remember this.
This is when I was living in Florida. This is South Florida, and this is what happened in South Florida. And I remember, once I heard that, it was like, I was like, oh, hold on, I'm playing with my life out here, fighting men, fighting trans. I'm fighting all these people. I'm gonna need to chill out. I was like the little bodyguard when I would go out with my girls and stuff like that. But then I was like, hold on, I'm playing with my life. Now people are, because life started shifting and people now started pulling out their weapons for something stupid like giving somebody the wrong phone number. He shot her in the face for the wrong phone number. So after that, I was just like, you know what? Let me lay low. And that's why I said now as a mother, I look at my son and I let him know when I see toxic traits in any girls that he's dating, because that's a toxic trait for a girl to get into some beef with some guy and then call you to come and deal with that situation. That's a very toxic trait. You ain't supposed to be arguing with no man. Like I said, the place that I was in, I was not in a good place. So me trying to fight a man and so on and so forth, that's because I was not in a good place. So I didn't care. So seeing that in another girl around my son and knowing that you're putting that man in danger. And ever since after that, when I'm in relationships and things, I'm not arguing with no man. I will walk away from a situation because in my mind, I have too much to lose. I have children to live for. I have things to do. I have too much to lose to be busy fighting no man, fighting no woman, fighting no trans. I have no time to be fighting nobody. That was 20s when I didn't know any better. But now I'm older, I'm wiser, I'm not going to do that. And I will lead my children the correct way. So I agree that he should dump her because she's absolutely right. Why were you in the club fighting? Why were you in the club, first of all, without me? Why were you in the club arguing with some man without me? Why were you even arguing with a man? Like, why were you doing all those things? And I agree with Celeste where it is where, because people have that idea of we want wifey and husband benefits without having that type of relationship. And that only comes because you're sleeping with that person. Because once you start sleeping with that person, you really think that now this is a whole nother level. When you remove that sleeping aspect out of it, you treat it as I'm just dating you and trying to see what kind of future I have with you.
I'm just curious, man. It's like when it comes to what Rolando just spoke on, everybody except myself, I don't say everybody, but the people on this panel, jumped on him talking about, come on, Rolando, about his response to disrespect and not the person that disrespected him. What's up with that?
Yeah, she calling me all types of punks in the chat and all this and that.
No, Spaces. I only told Rolando stop because Rolando tends to do that when I'm talking. He usually cuts me off and then I forget what I was talking about. Like literally all the time. That's why people, my neighbors, my sister, they all be like, Crystal, why are you always yelling? I said, because Rolando always cuts me off when I'm speaking every single time. I don't know if you've noticed that, but whenever I'm talking, he cuts me off. And I'm okay with it, but I'm just saying that's what happened. So I told him, stop, let me finish, say what I'm saying.
Okay, well, the woman in the chat's attacking me. She's calling me all types of punks, And to be honest, the only women who ever talked to me like that are women who I've hit back in the day, and now they mad that I ain't with them no more.
We was ready to
so they got that bitter. So I think that's one of those. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry, baby.
You don't even let us, bro. You won't let us. Golly, dude.
Well,
Goodness
I'm
gracious.
just trying to explain to her that it didn't work out and I had to move on. You know what I'm saying? Now she found me and now she gonna bash me in the chat and try to make it seem like it's about what we talking about. But it's not. I could tell she missed me.
Let me get into super chats, bro. Shout out to Frederick Howard with the $5 super chat. Says the Cheryl Underwood interview with Shannon Sharp needs to be looked at. She broke it down. He leads. I don't know if you guys had a chance to see that. That's actually a pretty decent interview. Shout out to Rochester coming through with the $10 super chat. Says, after listening to this, I think I love black women. LOL. Where's the nearest Baptist church? Goodness. Uh-oh. We're going to keep it moving. Hit that like button for me.
What? I saw Candace last night at pre-bay with some other nigga.
What nigga? Her dude?
No, another nigga, like I said. No, she was in that motherfucker, man. arms like this, sipping out of each other cups and some more shit. I'm like, damn.
My Candace?
Yo, Candace. And she saw me and started trying to cover up her face and hand and shit. But I'm like, hey, I did this like, ain't my problem, ain't my business. Ain't like you cheating on my brother or best friend or no shit. But damn, that's crazy. Her and that nigga been together that long and she out it. Then she in a public place doing it. Like, that's how you ran across me.
Hugged up.
Yeah. Yeah.
With another man?
Another man. Your friend.
Okay.
Yeah, nah. Shit. Yeah, you can't hang with her no more, man. No.
Why I can't hang with her no more?
She on some cheating. You a married woman, and you know what I'm saying? Perception is everything.
What got to do with me?
Everything. Birds of the feather flock together, right?
That's not true. I'm a grown woman.
You a grown woman that can be, that's enabling another grown woman to feel it's okay to cheat by you hanging around.
I didn't know she was doing that. Second of all,
well, now you know.
Okay, but you
and I doubt if you don't know. Every friend tell their girlfriend what they doing with their little scandals and shit.
First of all, we've been friends for 15 years.
I don't give a fuck you been friends for a lifetime. You can't hang with her no more, Ashley.
What? Stanley.
Ashley, listen. What do it look like you as a married woman walking around the city with a woman who don't respect her union with her husband?
How you know if he respect their union?
This ain't about him.
How
I'm talking about her.
How you know that ain't no open relationship? No open marriage.
Who trying to break up their marriage? I'm telling you, you can't hang with her. I'm not saying I'm finna talk to the nigga about what I seen Candace doing. I'm saying you can't. But get about association, Allie. It's no telling how many motherfuckers knew her nigga in there and knew. Is he wrong? I'm gonna start with you, Crystal. I want to give you the first word on it. Is he wrong? Should the man?
I felt like you were coming to me. I just felt it in my spirit that you were coming to me. Listen, I don't want nobody telling me who I can and cannot be friends with. I mean, I know that's my husband or whatever, but I don't want you telling me who I can and can. Maybe that's why I'm still single.
Okay, can I ask you a question? If you are out and about and you just happen to see his friend that you know is married and y'all have hung out and he is out cheating on his wife, you're okay with your husband continuing to rock with that dude when you know that's what he about?
Depends. It depends. And it's the same thing for me. It would depend for my husband for me. Because if I know my husband's a stand-up man and I tell him that his friend is cheating on his wife, you should leave that up to see what his actions are. That's what I'm saying. So him telling his wife, you don't need to be friends. You should have let her to be able to say that, that's not the type of character that I stand for. I need to have a conversation with her and get down to the nitty gritty. But to just basically say you're not hanging out with her, that's a lot. You need to see that for yourself. Because I would have looked at my man and be like, I saw so-and-so with out there with some girl. And I would have watched his actions and see how he handled that situation before I talk about you can't hang with him. That's what I mean. Because if you have no trust in your spouse, that's problematic. Just because that person cheating, does that mean I'm going to cheat? No. I'm about to ring that person up by the collar and be like, what are you doing? Why are you out there doing that? I'm going to be the friend that I'm supposed to be, which is if we've been friends for 15 years. I'm sorry. I just had a flashback of something like that happening. If we've been friends for that long, I'm going to talk to you as a friend and be like, what are you doing? And counsel you as your friend and talk to you about it. I'm not going to turn my back on you because you did something wrong. That's what I'm saying. I'm not going to turn my back on my best friend that we've been friends for 15 years because you did something wrong. I need to talk to you, see what's going on and try and help you through this before you destroy your whole entire life. But for me to just turn my back on you, I'm not going to do that to somebody. They've seen me through all my mess wise, and I have a lot of mess. So it's kind of hard. They've seen all my mess. It's kind of hard for me to turn my back on people who see me in all my mess. It's not pretty.
Okay, understood. One of the fellas, bro. Don't be too long-winded, though, bro. I'm giving you. Don't be too long-winded, though.
No, I'm not. Well, the only real thing I got to say about this is the shoe was on the other foot, women would be screaming it from the rooftop. You can't hang out with him. He's a bad influence. He's a dog. Birds of a feather. I've heard it all. Women in the chat right now are saying no, I wouldn't let my man hang out with another man who does that kind of stuff. So there's plenty of women, okay, that's verifying what I say, because I see heads shaking up here like now all of a sudden the panel's full of bobbleheads. You know what I'm saying? Because all I see is and bro, no, listen. If you're a married couple, okay, depending on what your religious beliefs and everything else, everybody's gonna have different standards, you know, of what their friends should look like. Okay. So if you're more of a religious person, then you're more inclined to say, hey, you know, if you have male friends, or the wife, if you have female friends who, you know, conduct themselves in this way, then I don't want you to be around them. And that would be a legitimate thing, you know. But if the wife has girlfriends like this, and let's just say the guy got some thugs or some low lives as friends, you know, because he known them for 15, 20 years, is that cool too? You know what I mean? That's basically what those two have to work out. This ain't a generalization to say, hey, everybody should think like this, but them two people need to come to an agreement on what type of friends they want to have in their lives. You know, because I grew up, I was on the wrong side of the track. I got plenty of friends who shady, real shady. You know what I mean? So if you want me to be friends with them, or let me be friends with them, that's cool. But if you told me, hey, I don't want you to be friends with them because of their past and what they've done, then don't be surprised when I put the same restrictions on you.
Celeste, you disagree?
Well, I wanted to go after Spaces.
Oh, go for it.
If I can.
Uh-oh.
Go for it.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
What the heck? What's
Go
going
ahead
on
and go
here?
after 'em. I'm waiting. I want to hear this.
No, I just wanted to hear what Spaces had to say first.
Oh, okay.
When it comes to this, I think if he said he saw his wife's friend out with another man that's not the man that she's with, or that's not her husband or whatever. And I think birds of a feather. I think when it comes to these kinds of situations, if the person, the idea of cheating, check this out. The one idea that I've shown that's been proven to me to be true far more times as a yes than a no is show me one person, in this particular case, show me one woman that's high that hangs around 9 single women, and I'll show you a 10th single woman. I think birds of a feather. I think in order for you, it's more than anything, in order for you to be successful in what it is that you're practicing in life, you have to surround yourself with the people that are practicing what it is that you're practicing. So, and on top of that too, is a man supposed to be the leadership or not? And I'm not saying, I don't mean that to say that he's supposed to be a 100% dictator. What I say goes. You're not a person. You don't have any say so. You're not a person. You don't have your own personality. You don't have your own autonomy. I'm not saying that. At the bottom line is, I see you hanging out with this person that cheats on her husband, and you telling me that you're not going to listen to my direction when I tell you that you don't need to be hanging around with her? All right. Now I'm gonna get my affairs together, man. All right. You gonna let's I'm in my mind. Let's get this posting up, because you're gonna end up cheating on me. I think, because in order for you to continuously hang around somebody that is not a reflection of you, you have to be a part of that.
No.
Me personally, I'm not in the streets. Spaces is not in the streets. I'm not going to be seen hanging around somebody that's in the streets. So no. Heck no. However, if I see my homie out, this ain't my business, bro.
Double standard. Okay.
Yes, basically.
Okay. After all that,
No,
just to cap it off with,
hey, Wise, it ain't because of that. It's because if he saw his homeboy out with another chick and he went and told his homeboy black that eye. That's what it's about.
It ain't even that. It's you know,
why you told on me, bro?
Just like there's a woman code, there's a bro code. You know what I'm saying? Like if I see my homie chick out, I'm a FaceTime my homie like, hey.
Now, are you gonna have a conversation with him? I understand not telling, but are you gonna have a conversation in the sense of like, bro, what are you doing?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Especially if he has a good woman. Absolutely, 1000%. But if that woman is causing detriment to his life, it's like, bro, there's levels to it. I can say there's levels to it.
So I'm sorry, Spacious. So you can have a conversation with him, but she can't have a conversation with the woman. Is that what you're saying? You can have a conversation with your homeboy to correct him for if he has a good woman at home, but the woman can't have a conversation with her friend about having a good man at home. That doesn't make any sense.
No, that's not the conversation. That's not the way the conversation was presented. The conversation in the car in the video was, I'm still going to hang around with her. And you can, from what I maybe we need to run the video again. She was saying, I'm still going to hang around with her. I can't hang around with her because she's cheating and I'm faithful to you. No, you can't hang around with her. So if the conversation is, we're married and I'm telling her that she needs to, and my wife is telling her friend that she needs to stop cheating on her husband, that's a different conversation. Then I'm still going to go out to the whatever event with my friend that cheats on her husband. You see the difference?
Well, that wasn't how I saw it. I saw it as that when I see he says my friend is cheating on her man and telling me not to hang out with her. Why I can't even have a conversation with my friend? I'm going to have a conversation with her because if I take my vows seriously, I'm going to have a conversation with my friend because your character. My friends have a certain character, and if you're not carrying around that character, I need to have a conversation with you because that is not what you're supposed to be doing. And if I am your friend, like friends aren't yes people. Friends are people that will come and tell you the truth when you need to hear it. They'll tell you the hard truth. They will yoke you up when you make mistakes. They will yoke you up when you're doing things that you're not supposed to be doing. I had so many friends do that to me. When I was drinking blindly, they yoked me up and like, Crystal, that's not what you're supposed to be doing. So that's what friends are supposed to be. So if she's truly a friend 15 years in and she found out that her friend is out here cheating, no, I want to have a conversation with my friend and we need to get down to the nitty-gritty because what in the world are you doing out there? That is not what you're supposed to be doing. So that's how I see it.
So Crystal, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question right quick. So I think that if you're going to tell the man that he can't hang out with certain friends or whatever, then what do you feel about there being some kind of double standard? Because if one tells one not to do it, the other should be able to say, hey,
I would never tell the man that. I said I would never tell the man that either.
Okay.
I never said I wouldn't tell the man you can't hang with him. Why would I tell him that?
I agree with you.
No, I know. I'm saying if we don't have trust amongst each other, then what? Then we don't have a relation. If you don't have trust, you have nothing at all.
No, so I agree with that. The only thing I think is when there's a problem is that when one tries to tell the other,
no, I agree with that.
Hey, don't do this, and then the other one goes and still hangs out with whoever.
No, I wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
I believe in it being. I don't believe in the double standard, but I believe that true friendships, all of y'all, we build a big bond, a wonderful friendship, and somebody's slipping, and we've been friends for years and years. You do something wrong. I'm not going to drop you because you did something wrong. I'm going to have a conversation with you because I really hold the word friend, the definition of friend, to my heart. Like we're friends for life. That means I'm sitting here. If you mess up, I'm going to have a conversation with you. If you're doing something that's out of your character, we need to figure out why are you doing this out of your character? Do we need to pray together? That's what I'm going to do.
No, I just like to know that basically it's just even across the board. So I don't mind. See, I have security, so I don't mind. Let's just say, if this chick wanted to go still hang out with her friend who's a cheater, that's fine with me because I trust in my girl. Okay, and that's totally cool. The only problem I would have a problem with is if that girl came home and was like, "Hey, I don't like so and so," or "I don't like so and so." That would rub me the wrong way because I'm like, "Yo, I don't judge who you hang out with. I trust in you coming home and doing the right thing. So you need to have that same amount of trust that I have in you. You need to have that in me, and that's the only thing. But outside of that, I really don't care who she hang out with because if I pick her to be my girl, that means I have some kind of trust in her.
Why would you hang around somebody that doesn't reflect the life that you live?
Hey man, I've been in a room full of drug dealers. I don't sell drugs.
I was about to say something. I was going to say the
How
same thing. I
how
was in a room with a bunch of people that smoke the group Devil's Lettuce. I've never touched it.
Absolutely.
But, and
So
and
just
that's
because
that's fine, but this isn't necessarily well, I don't ask that question from a standpoint of individual perception. I'm talking about outside perception. Because we like to dance the line and say, I don't care about people's opinion, but at the same time,
No, I
we
don't.
use the phrase people think. Why would you hang around somebody that doesn't reflect the life that you live as an individual?
so spaces
Why would
you make
I?
a mistake. No, I'm just asking if you mess up, you slip up. Let's just say you slip up and cheat. You want all your friends to turn on their back on you instead of having a conversation with you and trying to because you may be hurting about something, you may be dealing with something, you may be going through something. You want all your friends to turn their back on you because of that issue that you have. You want everybody to turn. That's what you're saying.
The difference in the conversation, I think that's what the line is if the people that I surround myself with are also cheaters, then I don't need to be getting advice from them.
Spaces, let me ask
That's
you a
what I'm
question.
saying.
Hold up before you go, Ro. I want to give Dion an opportunity.
Okay.
I was just gonna say real quick. Sometimes things like this happen, and this is why I wonder why the heck I'm still single. But are we forgetting something as Christ followers about how we are to forsake all others? Now, I mean, in a situation like this, okay, if my husband were to tell me that he would not feel comfortable with me continuing a friendship with this person, okay, so I'm thinking probably he'll allow me to tell that lady, that friend of mine, look, I'm not going to be able to roll with you anymore. And so I might be able to deal a little bit with, the sin or whatever, but she got to go work that out. If my husband is uncomfortable with me being in a relationship with anybody, I mean, he's supposed to be first. I mean, all the friends and all of that, that's all secondary. But he and his opinion ranks first. And I say that because I think that's what God would want me to do. I think that's what the Bible teaches, the whole leave and cleave and all of that kind of thing. I think my relationship with him would come first. And if he is concerned in any way, about me being friends with someone, I don't think of it like, okay, well, you don't trust me. I mean, I don't even go there in my mind when I saw this, this situation play out. But at the same time, I mean, it would be the same in his case. If I said I feel like, you need to part ways with this individual because they in sin and or whatever, and then he should have the same response. Anyway, I just wanted that difference of opinion.
I'll be quick with this response. Me personally, Spaces, I am absolutely clueless on the legitimate advances of a woman. So if a woman is like, unless she's 100% throwing herself at me, I am completely oblivious to like she's flirting with me or if she's like trying to get with me or whatever the case.
How do you ever
So
get
in that sense, I've had it multiple times in my past where a woman came to me and was like, she's flirting with you. She was? I thought she was just chilling.
Hey, bro, you gotta come over to the Role Player Academy, bro. We need to go ahead and teach you a couple things, bro.
He's got a whole school now.
Yeah, bro. Listen.
Hey, I'm telling you,
Just because I know you hurt,
The
bro.
Role Player Academy. Okay.
Yeah, all classes are free for my boy Spaces, man. Because bro, he
man.
truly needs some help. You know what I mean?
Hey, don't get it twisted. I gave this story just to add to the conversation, but don't get it twisted about my life.
Oh, come on now. You ain't gotta go there. We believe you.
No, because I'm looking at people's reactions. Don't get it twisted about me.
Spaces. How many Erica Badu's you got over there?
And
bruh. Come on, man. Celeste, go ahead. Go ahead, Celeste.
All right. So first of all, I want to start with Spaces. I think we're doing beautifully tonight. And I think I agree with you. I think you made a very interesting point a few minutes ago when you said the difference in sort of how we see things. I think that's interesting. I'm really going to think about that. I was with you 100%. Unfortunately, now we're going to depart ways again. And here's where it is. So no, I'm not not going to be my friends anymore with my friend. And also, to Rolando's point, I also don't feel like I'm ever going to tell my husband, this is who you can hang out with and this is who you can't. I get that. My thought on that really is, and Crystal kind of touched on this. My thought on that is the likelihood is that relationship between me and my friend, if that's what my friend is doing, is going to devolve anyways, because I will have completely lost respect for this person. And on my own, it's going to be difficult for me to continue in the same manner with someone I no longer have respect for. But I don't think I would ever have a husband that would be concerned about me and the birds of a feather type of situation, because it is nearly impossible to influence me. He will know how difficult it is for him to influence me. He will have seen how difficult it was for anybody else around me to ever influence me. So I don't think I would have somebody who would be worried that just because I was standing next to a person, I mean, I don't think cheating is like the flu. You can't catch it. It's a decision you have to make. I don't think I'm going to have a husband that's going to be worried that there's somebody that, because they were standing next to me, can influence me, because my husband will be completely aware of the fact of how willing I am to be the only person who will stand against the grain if it's something I really believe I'm going to stand for. So that's not going to be a consideration. He's not going to say, well, your friend wears short skirts, so now you are. Or your friend goes to this type of business, so now you do. Because I'm somebody, and all my friends know that. They can do a whole bunch of stuff. That don't mean I do it.
False equivalency, Miss Celeste.
That doesn't mean it at all. But I do think, to a certain extent, her husband in the video probably came at her a little wrong. I think if he had used Dion's tactic and said, this makes me uncomfortable, that's a much more reasonable approach, because I certainly don't want to do things that make my husband uncomfortable. But I would kind of wonder why he was uncomfortable, because again, I am not somebody who's weak-minded or so at all influenced that just being around someone can make me do their way. And to your question about why you would want to be around someone who doesn't have your values. Well, the truth of the matter is most people don't totally share your values. This could be somebody who's very intellectual. They could be very funny. They could have 1,000 other qualities that you enjoy that don't have to be about their cheating. And so, Crystal gave a good point. You may know somebody who smokes weed. I don't smoke that, never have no intentions on it. But that doesn't mean that that's not somebody. If they called me up on a Saturday and said, hey, let's go to lunch, sure, I'll go to lunch. I assume we won't be smoking in the public place. So that's, that's fine. I'm not, I don't need you to be everything I am. I need you to respect that I will be making my own choices. I will respect that you're making your own choices. And I hope you'll make choices that I can respect, because I think once we cross that line where you're living a life that I totally can't respect, at that point, you don't even have to tell me not to be friends with that person. That relationship is going to devolve.
It's false equivalencies through all of that, Miss Celeste.
Can I just point out real quick? I just want to say this real quick. Let me just say this real quick. If my parents did what Spaces is talking about, they wouldn't have helped saved 3 or 4 marriages, because they're the people that they were friends with, that they knew cheated on their spouse or was thinking about stepping out on their spouse, and my parents remained, and they were a testimony, and they helped counsel them and help work through, and these people are still married now 40 plus years, because my parents didn't just turn their back on them. So that's all I'm saying. I don't want you talking to this person anymore. Yet, have I ever given you a reason to think that I'm cheating on you? No. So what is the problem? Do you trust me or not? That's what I'm talking about. If we have true, and my parents, these are friends that my parents have known since they were kids. So this is what I'm talking about. To just turn your back on somebody that you call a friend in a time of need, a time of hardship, a time where you don't know what's going on and why this person is even doing that, just because that's your insecurity. That's what it comes down to. If you are scared that I'm going to cheat because you saw her cheating, that's your insecurity, and that's showing your insecurity, because you should have some trust in me to know that I wouldn't do that to you. I stand on our vows, and I see some. I'm just saying this because I see some people saying, as a Christian, shouldn't we walk away from people that are sinning? And I'm like, no, because Jesus never walked away from us when we sinned. So we don't just turn our back on somebody because they mess up. We seek God's guidance, but we can be a counselor to them. That's all I'm saying.
It's so crazy how
hold on. Before you go, Dion wanted to go because she got an echo, so she can't just kind of jump in there.
Oh, that's why. I'm like, what? He needed me.
Yeah,
Okay.
you brought the echo.
I got it. Is it echoing now?
Mm-hmm.
Dang. Okay. I'll just say them real quick. I was just gonna say that I don't know. Just about how the Bible speaks about sexual sin and how serious it is, and I mean it's different if it's a situation where the husband and the wife together agree and they're counseling that particular friend. I definitely see what you mean there, and that's very admirable that your parents were able to help in an instance like that. But if it's not a situation like that where you're gonna, come together, you're in a place where you can counsel. If it's not a situation like that, there are just times where the Bible even talks about, how we should remove ourselves from sexual sin and those who are engaging in it, because not in a sense that I would be tempted to go and cheat, or my husband would be tempted to do so, but I guess just in the sense of like the rebellion aspect of it. So that's all I want to add.
Thank you. And I'm sorry. I'll wait.
Well, let me say this. This is one thing that drives me crazy about Christians, that they look for the perfect person. There is no perfect people.
Who's looking for perfect? Who's looking for perfection?
What I mean by, let me explain myself. This is what I mean by perfect. Okay, none of your friends are ever going to be perfect. Your wife's not perfect. Nothing in this world is perfect. Okay, even down to your friends. I'll give you a prime example. Normally, the friends that you make when you're in your teenage years and your younger years are your friends. Okay, let me ask the men. How many friends do you make at 40? Not many.
You don't make many.
No. I'm just giving you an example. At 40, dude, I'll give you a prime example. At 40, I've made one friend. Okay, since I turned 40. And that's a friend of mine named Dave, and he lives out on the coast. Okay. No, all the friends and all the people I know are people that I've met when I was from 10, 15, 16, 17 years old. Okay. And these are not the best people. So when I cut them out, I limit myself to, my circle of friends. So for right now, my friends aren't the best people, okay? But I don't judge them for that. Life is hard. And even if you want to look at it from a Christian aspect, okay, when Jesus sacrificed himself on the cross, who he got sacrificed with? 2 saints? No. It was a thief and something else. Okay? Nobody's perfect. You have to trust in the person that you're with to make good decisions. All right? And like Celeste said, if she doesn't like her morally, it's on Celeste to cut that off. You know what I mean? But I'm not going to influence Celeste and say, hey, Celeste, no. Because I don't know their relationship. Celeste may have known her since she was 13 years old. Way before she knew me. So what do I look like coming to Celeste and telling Celeste, hey, you got to get rid of so-and-so because of whatever? You know, that's what you call strife. You have to let everybody kind of do their thing, okay? And decide who they want to have in their life and who they want to have in their life. But just because they got, a felony or some kind of charges or something like that doesn't mean they're perfect. Nobody's perfect. Even when God pick somebody.
I mean, I think we all understand that
to work through. They're not perfect people. Okay, no matter, dude. Like for example, I believe people like MLK, Malcolm X, Trump, certain figures, God works through them. Are these perfect people? No, they're not. No. MLK stepped out on his wife. Trump has all his allegations and everything else, and he's kind of he could be kind of a butthead or whatever. People say, oh, he could talk nicer and all that kind of stuff. Malcolm X was not a great person either. Malcolm X, before he became Malcolm X, was red. And people forget what red was like. Detroit Red. Okay, look it up. So these are not perfect people. And we need to stop acting and stop looking for these perfect people. They don't exist. God only makes people, and people are flawed. Okay? So accept it for that.
I don't know
I'm
how
just
we got
saying, people are flawed. Stop looking for
absolutely.
perfection.
Absolutely. But hey, Spaces, I'm not gonna let you go. We're going on 12 o'clock, bro. I'm tired, bro. I'm tired, boss.
I'll just be super quick. It's like, is he the leader or is he not? Is he supposed to be is he supposed to be the head of your life or not? Is he supposed to have discernment for the life of the future of the family as it pertains to how the people you surround yourself with?
But
or
Spaces,
not?
You're the head of the family, not the dictator of the family, bro.
What?
Is
he the
getting close.
It's a yes or a no.
If I can jump in for a second.
Go for it.
First of all, if you know the person that you're married to, they shouldn't even have to tell you anything like that, to tell you what to do. If it's somebody that I'm really, really good friends with, the odds are I probably already know. The other thing that I will say is that people's relationships are their relationships. Just because you see something, you might think it's something, but that don't mean that it's something for them, regardless of anything else. People make decisions on how they want their relationships to be. I would mind my business from that perspective. My husband wouldn't need to tell me that I don't need to hang out with somebody because I can already make that decision on whether or not I need to or not need to hang out with someone. But they said particularly 15 years. So if that's a really good friend on the strength of we've been through some things together, again, I probably already know. And if it begins to be a problem, then you got to go. I would have no problem with that. Not because I'm going to do something on the strength of what someone else is going to do, on the strength of, I believe you are a product of who you hang around with regard to something like this, with regard to robbery, with regard to whatever, if it comes down to all that. So it just depends on who you are and how your relationship is, if you ask me. But I would not have a man who would have to say that. He wouldn't have to say that. My 2 cents.
That being said,
So you already have discernment.
Of course.
Yeah. Shout out to Godwin Boom joining the ARP family. Appreciate you, man. Thank you very much. Shout out to Greg Williams with the $20 super chat. Says, Wise, thank you for saying Dakara Thompson's name. Her death shook me to the core. Appreciate you, bro. Shout out to is it Growth Talk? $5 super chat says, see how the ladies going to emotions? The men just dealt with the action itself. Again, men and women aren't the same. Dr. Messi Michon Esquire. All right, now. All right. Well, I appreciate y'all pulling up today, man. Shout out to everybody that hung out with us. Goodness gracious. It seems like we always go to 12. It's crazy. Y'all are
telling you, we
ridiculous,
can't
man.
avoid it, man. It's just like a drunk dude, man. Just driving down the
It's
street.
because
Can't avoid the
Rolando,
accident, bro.
Rolando, we've been on here for 3 hours. Rolando talked for an hour and a half.
It wasn't no hour and a half. Listen, I'm gonna go back tomorrow and watch this whole show, and I'm finna time up my time. I'll send
Time it up.
text.
Put it in the chat. Is it plus or minus? Plus or minus? Hour,
Yeah,
plus
we
or
could
minus?
take some
Hour and a half. 90 minutes.
But
Look
listen,
at
I preach nothing but the truth. You know
Look
what
at
I'm saying?
OP
So they
Anger's
got an hour and a half worth of truth. That's
Hey,
more than
even
gonna
B
get all
said,
week.
you know what? I'm starting to agree with Uncle Ro. It's time to go.
Exactly.
Now look at this. Look at this. Look at that. Southern charisma. Thank you. Ro can bump his gums. Look at that. We got 7 people on here. Ro dominate the conversation all daggone night, bro.
Every woman I meet say that. They say, "Boy, Ro can bump them guns."
Oh,
boy,
God.
you can't-
Oh, no.
Oh Lord, have mercy.
You didn't have
Don't
to
change. Just don't change.
be you, bro. I still got to get on you though.
I'll never change. AA Spaces, I got a spot for you, man, at the Rose Players Academy, bro.
Hey, bro,
You know,
I got no issues. Trust me.
Well, bro, it seems like your woman radar is broken, bro, because you can't pick
I
up
got no
signals.
issues. Trust me.
Dude,
So
you like
disrespectful.
the Chinese air defense in Venezuela, bro. You can't pick up nothing on your radar. What's going on?
Bro, don't go there, bro.
Oh no.
Don't go there. Because I steal your woman.
All right.
I'm sorry, Melissa. My NyQuil is kicking in. That's why I look like I'm out of it, because my NyQuil is
NyQuil kicking in. It's time to
For a
go.
hot toddy?
Crystal trying to wrap her hair up. You know what I'm saying?
I got a hot toddy recipe. See, I'm not like you.
I have hot toddy.
Look. I see you're in a bad position, and I offer you a recipe. You saw I was in a bad position. I still ain't getting no oxtail recipe. You see how you do me?
But I tell you to go to my.
And
Did
I'm
you go to
willing
my
to
channel?
send you-
Wait. Pause. Did you go to my channel and watch the video that I told you to watch?
No, I did
That had
not.
the recipe on it? Oh,
No,
okay,
I did
then.
not.
I
That's
gave you
because-
instructions. You chose not to do it. That's not
No,
my
that's
fault.
because somebody told me that you did it in Trinidadian. I don't speak Trinidadian. You know what
I
I'm
only
saying?
speak English. I don't know if you're talking about I only
Okay.
speak English.
Okay.
Why?
See, they lying to me in the chat. They be lying to me in
Why?
the chat.
Where's
Yes.
AT when you need him?
I know, seriously.
Where's
Seriously.
I just gave one example. Don't run with it.
Oh man. Thank you guys for pulling up today. I hope you guys enjoyed the late shift. It was actually pretty good today. And we had a lot of folks hang out with us pretty much all day. I'm sorry. I did not mean for us to go to 12 o'clock. But shout out to Rolando.
I get the blame.
Shout out to Rolando.
Spaces
Hey,
was the one who took up the show today. He was the star.
the consensus in the chat is you, bruh.
Rolando.
We got to
Rolando.
put a poll
Oh,
up for next
man.
week. We're gonna put a poll up for next week, okay?
Listen, I think the chat is starting not to be able to tell me and Spaces alike.
Oh, no, they keep on
you know, apart. They just
They know
like
the
these two
difference.
dudes.
Nah, they
are
called
too
you
light.
common. They called him ludicrous.
Yes.
Well, they both light skinned.
We getting
It's
out of
all
here,
right.
man. I appreciate you guys pulling up today, man. We'll be back next week, 9 o'clock, late shift next week, Wednesday, man. Y'all take care, man. We'll see y'all on Friday for ARP in the morning, man. Come hang out with us.
Oh,
Come check us
Wise, I
out,
meant
man.
to tell you. Hold on. I meant to tell you. I also sent email to the local strip club for sponsorship. So if they come through,
Did
You
you
know what I'm
really
saying?
stop that when I'm trying to go to bed? And I just came home
listen,
like,
we can make a lot of money, but it's all gonna be in ones.
please don't. This
I
channel
just want to
is
throw
about
that out
common
there.
sense. W. Phillips, please don't listen to Ro. This is a channel of common sense, not
I'm telling you, I
foolishness.
know the guy from Cleo's. I'm telling you, he gonna hook us up. I'll get with you on that.
Cleo's.
We getting out of here. We getting out of here. Y'all take care, man. God bless y'all, man. We out. Peace.
It's the late shift crew, you already know. Handling this, stacking chips, money flow. It is what it is. Don't play with me. I'm on time, but it's the late shift. See.